everybody, and welcome back to the stream! I'm LB Hackemup. I scared Simon off because I said something loud, and we're back with our episode of Aliens the RPG. I'm excited to be back into this. We haven't played in a little while because of holidays and all that sort of stuff, but we've got the gang back together, we've got the crew, and we're gonna do some fun stuff. Before we get started, as always, a reminder that we have a Discord, we have a merch, we have Patreon, where if you want to join, you get to watch us watch movies, which is super fun. This month we are watching Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, the one with Keanu Reeves. It is a treat. We were tired but very involved, so I hope you enjoy it. And you get all the other fun stuff like highlight reels, and sometimes I do like stat blocks for monsters that I've made. You will get the stat blocks for the custom ones I do for the next season of Playthings of the Gods, which, another announcement, Playthings of the Gods will be back on Sunday nights starting in February. So we'll be getting back into things. Everyone is going to be level 15. And it'll be 6 years after the end of the last season. So I'm excited to get back into that and amp up all of the bad guys and reveal what's going on. It'll be a mystery, but it'll definitely be more time clocked than the last one. So, but yeah, let's have everybody go around and say who they are and what they're doing. Starting, of course, with Alex.
Oh, hello. I'm Alex, OMG at some guy on the internet. These days, I'm just here on Sunday nights, quiet over on GGK for now. And in this game, I am playing Dr. Donatello, who is the medical doctor.
I think I go next. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internet at Van, but Wilder, pretty much wherever you can find people on the internet. I'm on Mastodon, I'm on Blue Sky. Mostly I'm hanging out in the respective Discords and streaming here on Sunday nights and over on game nights, currently on Mondays and Saturdays. Tonight I am playing Dr. Ellison Hemlock, who is the scientist, I think. Just realized I didn't have Roll20 pulled up, which is good for gamer.
I'm Tanya. Sorry, my buttons didn't work at Tiny Roll on Places Online. But tonight I'm Tommy Bosco, the Roughneck.
Hello, everybody. I'm Val. You can find me at TheKrakensCrown around the internet. I am over on GGK running games Saturdays and Mondays. And tonight I'm going to be playing Scrub, who is the pilot.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'll be your game mother for this evening. You can find me here on Sundays, and I'm on GGK on Saturdays playing some D&D with a couple faces you see on your screen.
And I'm LB Hackemup. I'm playing Officer Richard Ram. He is the officer of the group. And let's get back into the recap. Are you ready to take us away, Rachel?
I suppose. First things first. Disclaimer, this game takes place in the Alien universe, so it's in essence a horror game. There will be descriptions of gore, and I will probably be putting my players in stressful, scary situations, depending on what they choose to do tonight. We have tools in place to ensure their safety, and your safety is important too. So if this game isn't for you, we understand, and we'll see you on our next adventure. And for a recap, I didn't write one. Did I have a million weeks to do so? Absolutely. Did I do it? No. But you know what we did last time? Last time, our players were coming back from a horrible situation at the installation that they encountered where the random colonists went missing when they investigated the distress beacon. They're on their way back, spattered in blood from the person that they watched die in front of them as they had their first encounter with a chest burster. And they got back to the colony, and when they were almost out of the tree line, there was an explosion in the distance and the whole colony went dark. They made their way back and went building to building, splitting up. A few people going to the mechanical building. Scrub in particular wanted to check to see if his wife was there. And a couple other people went into the main area and talked to Valia. And she told them that they didn't really know what was going on, but they got the same call over the intercom that there was something in the colony and it was attacking everybody. So long story short, they went building to building into groups, eventually ending up in the they went to the mechanical building, found a few survivors, sent them to the ship. They went to the greenhouse after clearing out the agriculture building, which is where they thought that everybody was. In the greenhouse, they had a very near miss with something that was coming towards them, but thanks to some wonderful rolls, they escaped that. They cleared a few more buildings, found a few more survivors. They have sent back, let's see, I put down who you saved and where they are. Currently, people that you have saved, it's way down in my notes. Got a lot of horror shit written here. Currently on the Orpheus, who you have saved is Frank, Nico, Bex, Coop was going to be flying it, Nora, Emma, and Robin. And Valia and John, the agent from Weyland-Yutani, were clearing the houses looking for more survivors. You guys went by all of the houses and you were trying to find them because they hadn't returned to the ship yet. And when you were clearing a couple houses, because you realized that they were leaving the doors open as kind of a signal to show where they had been already, you went through the house. And as you went out the back, you saw some creature pulling John away as you followed the trail of blood. And you had your first encounter with a scout xenomorph. And after a few rounds of combat, managed to not quite kill it, but it did run off. And during that combat, it was revealed that Officer Richard Ram was asynthetic. And an injury that would have killed anyone else instantly, he's still fine. And so currently, Valia has come out of the house. You've loaded an injured John into the car, into the chariot. I created this. I know the words. Into the chariot, and you guys are ready to do whatever it is you're going to do next.
Are we destroying the colony?
Which is
Before we get into character, what buildings are there any buildings we haven't checked out yet that we were planning
there
to?
are some houses, but you cleared the majority of the buildings. You went into the mechanical and engineering. You went into agriculture. You went into the greenhouse. You popped into the botany lab because that is where Hemlock and I think Donna waited because you guys ran Emma and Robin back to the chariot and then came back. I don't remember who went with. Oh, I think actually Donna went with into the chariot to make sure that because Robin was like generally catatonic.
Yeah.
And I think Scrub drove back and then you guys came back.
And we met them.
So you've been, I don't think anybody popped into the genetics lab, but you did find, you found in the clinic, you found both Nora. No, you found. Oh, I didn't update this list. You found Joe and Murphy in the clinic as well. So they're also on the Orpheus now, I think.
So that's everyone then, right?
That's everyone that you...
It's all the named NPCs.
That's all the named NPCs. There are no named NPCs left that aren't already dead.
Well, if they don't have names, they're not worth saving. I think we get them off this planet.
Yeah, from what I remember, we were at the standstill last time of, some of us, I don't remember where everyone landed, but being like, we should just get the fuck out of here, nuke the site from orbit. I think it was Officer Ram who was saying, no, we have to go check the other facility and save people. Does anyone else remember where their characters were on trying to rescue or escaping?
At the installation where you found all of the information. You got that laser disc that Allison like went through and found some information on a planet that's like a moon of another planet nearby in the same system, but it's not actually on this planet if you're talking about the actual like other installation. Now, there were those drag marks and stuff. Obviously, the xenomorphs or whatever these creatures are, you don't exactly have a name for them yet. You're just assuming that they're the same creatures that have been talked about in that book that everybody read, but doesn't really talk about. They were dragging them somewhere, but you did not investigate where.
Okay. I must have somehow missed that we got information on a off-planet location.
It was really quick. Like,
Yeah.
Allison did a couple rolls to like look at like kind of like
Yeah.
the information and stuff that was like there.
Yeah, we didn't really talk
You haven't
about
really
it.
you haven't really had like they haven't had a chance to go
We
through
haven't-
all of it, but a quick glance was like, oh, this isn't even here. This is site B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I definitely made a Jurassic Park 3 joke about it.
Yep.
I
Like-
know how my brain works.
The way, and maybe it's more, I mean, I don't know if we should skip to talking about it in character or what, but like it seems like our choice right now is, do we completely leave this life that we had planned on establishing here and all the work we've done here and amscray back to wherever, get back into hypersleep and, you know, and head off somewhere else? Or do we try to fight for our home here and get rid of the aliens?
Well, I know how Ellison's going to feel about that particular statement.
Well, if you guys just want to fast back to the
ship?
Orpheus.
Yeah, I
You
think either
can
way we're going back.
Hop back
to the
there. You're
Orpheus
going back to
and-
the Orpheus, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to get back. If you want to even get off
I
this
mean,
planet,
I was going to
You
say maybe
also-
even we go back to the Artemis and just get everyone off the planet because we don't want to keep all these injured people here, right?
Yeah.
yeah, there's a med bay up there, and
Yeah, I think we got to go all the way back up.
And I think we determined like the med bay would have a scanner we could use to see if anyone's been
Aliens.
infested. Yep.
yes,
Yeah.
there is also a whatever they're called. Mm, The Pauling Med Pod. Got it. The Pauling Med Pod. So there's one at the colony, but there's also one on your ship,
Okay.
which can do. That's the one from Alien or from Covenant.
Do we just want to put all these people on the ship without checking them first?
Well,
I feel
that's
like-
the issue is we don't have what we need to check them. It's either in like the medical clinic in the camp, which is still very much in danger from
Yeah.
other possible aliens,
it's up on the
or
ship.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Scrub's voting that we get everyone on the Orpheus, get back to the Artemis.
How
Doc
long would that
seems-
take?
30 minutes tops.
Okay.
I mean,
And
like,
then-
Letting people just die,
no.
got dragged away by.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
take like 30 minutes to get up there probably.
Okay.
The only thing is gonna depend on, because there is this storm. It's currently storming. So it's gonna be a rough ride. And
Yeah.
whoever's flying the ship is gonna have to roll for it
Okay.
to see like how long it takes, how rough this ride is. Like, you'll be able to get up there. Nobody's gonna just die getting up
Yeah,
there.
Scrub's
Mhm.
not worried about the weather.
However,
Natural
it's
one,
gonna
we
be-
all blow up.
it's
He
gonna
wasn't
be
worried about it on the
shitty.
way down either, and we all remember how that roll went.
Nah,
Pilot
Scrub's fine.
jerkiness,
It's
that's how
gonna
people die.
be rough. People might puke if it's a bad
Yeah.
roll, considering how turbulent it's gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
it might not
Yeah.
be pretty,
But I
but you
think-
will
I
get
think
up
we'll take
there.
that risk.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think the safest thing we can do is get up to the Artemis and then
Quarantine
we'll
everybody.
like scan the people and then have a group meeting of like, what are we
What are we
doing
gonna
and
do?
what do we need to do now?
Mhm. Because you also have the option to put people in hypersleep, and you know this. Like, if somebody's infected with like a chest burster, like, you could probably put them in hypersleep and and deal with that later.
Because
if you
all
needed to,
organics are
'cause you
in
know that.
stasis
Correct.
and they're
Yes.
in cryo. Okay.
Right.
Well, because the person that we rescued was in
in
cryo, and then
So
like
your deductive reasoning is this would probably work
Yeah.
for our medical doctor and
Yeah.
our scientist.
I
would
imagine
probably
it's got to be
like,
pretty
"This'll
common
work."
knowledge for most people. It's like, if people have a medical condition and have to be
Mhm.
transported places, they're usually put into cryo so they
Mhm.
don't die en route.
like
So-
that poor guy in Auntie Ethel's basement who's petrified and if you unpetrify him.
Oh
Yeah.
no. I forgot
No.
about that guy.
He was
Yeah.
fine
Not
in my
that guy.
playthrough. What do you mean?
What?
He was fine. He got unpetrified, and I'm like, well, this looks okay, and then he just left. Did something else happen, or does it happen later?
Are you being serious? He dies in
What are you
like 2
talking
seconds if
about?
you
No,
unpetrify
he was
him.
As
fine
soon
in
as
mine. He was fine.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't know.
Somebody,
We'll have to unpack
somebody
that
put a
later.
pin in that because we're gonna have to talk about it.
We're gonna have to talk about that later.
Well-
I've never saved him.
You do.
I don't have a paladin. Does that make a difference?
Maybe.
Probably.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
I don't know.
For the folks at home,
I
we're
failed
talking
the
about
medicine
Baldur's
check,
Gate.
so anyways.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyways, yeah,
All
so
right.
we're going to go
All right,
up to the...
so pretend you guys did this little like seasoning session on the drive back to the Orpheus. Okay.
Mhm.
So you're unloading everybody out of the, out of the Orpheus, or sorry, out of the chariot, and including the.
I think on the ride back, I think Richard will kind of sheepishly just say, like, I'd appreciate it if we could keep this revelation just in this group for now. Like, he's
Wait.
kind of wrapped his
I'm-
face up.
I'm sorry, Richard. I'm going to have to ask you which one.
Though, one about me being what I am.
Is it hidden right now? He's not bleeding milk all over the place?
I mean,
I just had a
Donna's
loose
probably tried
gasket.
to help as much as she can. Because I don't think, well, I don't actually know enough about how synths work in this world to know if like a normal medical professional would have that training. But at the very least, Donna has some training because she was one
Yeah.
of the ones in on the secret.
Mhm.
Just wanted to know if you were like full ash right now, where you're like gargling
No.
milk, or
No, I think
No.
it just went through my eye. So, like, if
It
you
would
pinch
not eye,
off
it would
the...
cheek.
Oh, okay. So if you
Through
just
your
like
cheek.
close
Mhm.
off the piping,
Yeah,
that
we
has
could say that
that-
you have like you could like pinch it off, like put a couple like clamps in there to
Same like you do
back
with a blood
together.
vessel.
Mhm. And then you could put like a patch over it, like a medical, like a band-aid or whatever. I'm sure like
Mhm.
Donna's got something in her pack that you could just like pop on there. And I think that would look, if you're looking to make it seem like it's just a normal human injury, you could make it work. Just wipe off
Okay.
the milky stuff.
Though we will have to figure out a way to add blood stains to your bandages. 'Cause
Later. That's a
otherwise you're not
later
gonna be
problem.
red.
John is like delirious and delusional with pain. He'll like just
You just
reach
kinda
into
pat
it
his
on
leg
there
and just like
and put it
pat it
on.
on your face. Just Keanu
Listen,
Reeves.
Or
just
maybe
patting your
Donna
face.
is just that good at her job.
Yeah.
Listen, Dick, I think we've got more important things to deal with right now. I don't see a reason why it needs to be a discussion, though eventually I am, and I imagine others are going to want to know why Waylon was sending a hidden synth on this mission.
Honestly, I can think of 3 or 4 reasons just off the top of my head, so. But regardless.
Well, I'd love to be brought in on those eventually.
Eventually. So not now.
No, I think we got bigger problems right now.
Alright. Well, regardless, I have no interest in telling anyone. I don't see
It's
how that's my
appreciated.
business.
You know,
Thank
I
you.
was already prepared to keep it a secret, so
I just follow orders.
Well, aren't we all just one big family?
As we go flying over a hill on.
Do we have to be going this fast?
Yep.
Alright.
Unless you want one of those things sneaking up behind us.
I imagine Scrub when he like gets there, just like whips it. It looks like a total
Oh,
fishtail.
yeah.
Full
Like,
Tokyo drift.
full Tokyo drift. Drifts right behind the Orpheus.
Yeah, it's curbside delivery. Everybody get up the ramp.
Does like a full like 180 to the back end where you're like loading the injured John out as like right at the base of the Orpheus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like so you're
If I
unloading
could,
everybody.
I'd get it so I could just whip him and he goes flying up onto the ship.
Yeah.
But the doctors
In
might
in the
object to
on the
that.
tray, just going out.
Yeah.
No, Donna gets everyone ready. All right, but unbuckle your seatbelts and in this position and launch.
Yeah, we do it
Everyone
as a
just flies.
team, so it's safe.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the key right there.
And it's a great needle drop as we all go like superhero flying out of the fucking chariot.
And then all slam into
Slow
the side
motion
of the
in an
Orpheus.
action
Neck
film.
snapped. Game over.
Everyone dies. Scrub goes, oops, and then goes back on the
Unbuckles
ship.
his
Oh, they all
seatbelt.
died. Aliens
don't
got
know
them.
what
Let's get
happened.
going.
Nice.
Nice
So weird.
stinker. Freeze
so-
frame on
First game
Scrub high
back.
fiving himself.
you guys screech behind the Orpheus, and the somebody will send like a flashlight signal, like, you know, as you guys are coming up, so that they know to, like, you know, put the bay door down. The bay door comes down. You see everybody inside. Everybody looks scared still, you know, like Robin's still just like catatonic, staring forward. You're unloading everybody, including the injured John, from the chariot onto the Orpheus, and the bay door opens and a couple people are coming down to help. You hear a screech in the distance as it
Like a
echoes around
human
you.
screech?
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Not from
Inhuman screech. The same noise that monster made as it ran away. And
But
as it
not in
echoes
the ship,
around
right?
you. Nope, not on the ship.
Okay.
Off in the distance. It echoes around you, and even the rain seems to become more quiet. Another rings out behind you, to where you came from, still distant, but unnerving. And you hear another screech from your left, this one closer now.
Door.
Any of you that were in the military, that's 2 of you, know that you're being flanked and surrounded.
Clever girls. All right, we got to get this bird up in the air ASAP.
I don't think we can assume just yet that they're all girls.
All right, let's just cut the semantics.
It's not. All right.
The back door is shut.
Back door shut.
Everyone
Yeah,
get
I think Scrub immediately is pushing into the pilot's.
Yeah,
into the
Coop sees you
cockpit.
come in and it'll hop into the co-pilot seat. Everything's already prepped and ready. Like, you know, it's just everybody getting like locked into seats.
Mhm.
There probably aren't. Let's see, how many people are there on the ship? There are 24 seats. I think we're good.
Yeah,
1,
we got
2,
less
3,
than
4,
that.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Ellis and
10,
Skip,
11,
making sure.
12, 13, 14. Yeah, you guys are fine.
Okay.
Maybe we can double buckle. if
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna
okay.
say we can.
No, you guys are
double
good. Nope, you guys are good. 24 seats and 2 pilot seats.
Astronauts do that all the time.
It's super safe.
Only the cool ones.
I don't
So
need
you're
to see.
you're doing your last minute pre-flight checks.
Yeah, I'm cutting corners wherever I need to. We're
Yeah.
we're getting
The-
airborne.
You know, turning on the lights, and in front of the ship, as you turn on the lights around you, you know, there are screens to see everywhere else, and you see movement
Ugh.
in front of you in the windows and on the screens. And if you look in the screen that shows the back of the ship, right before you hear a thud, you see one of these creatures that you fought launching itself at the door.
Ugh.
Just back over
Ooh.
it. Just back
Yeah.
over it. Just run it over.
Is there like any hatch where someone could get like on top of the ship?
No.
Okay.
It is a spaceship.
Well,
no.
I've seen space sweepers.
It's not like a submarine where there's like a, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like a, yeah,
It
this
doesn't
is
have a
not, this is
drop
not,
top.
yeah, this is meant to like land inside larger ships
Mm-hmm.
and not, and then go to the ground. They did not build this to like lock
Yeah.
on other ships.
Did
Yeah.
we confirm that this thing does not have weapon systems anymore?
I don't know. Let me see. Let's see. I'm gonna roll a d4. Do you want odds or evens to be there are still some hot weapons?
I'm gonna go odds.
There are still some hot weapons.
Yes.
Oh,
You don't
Oh,
have
man.
the full battery, but there are some. If things get spicy, you will have like a close range like gun. So we'll say there's a gunner seat behind
Okay.
Coop with some screens if you want to pop in there before you guys take off.
I think that Richard is gonna go to the bay, and it doesn't really matter if he gets thrown around for this. So he's gonna. I imagine, for some reason, I'm imagining there's like a bungee system, like a harness that you could like, so you don't get ejected into space. I don't know if that's the case, but he'll just be back there
that
with the
happens
gun.
in Expanse. It's
Yeah.
space. I'll take it.
So he's gonna strap himself into there and just like come over the comms and say, someone get in the gunners. I'm gonna mend the back door just in case something happens. But take off as soon as you can.
Yeah, I'm taking off as quickly as possible.
Tommy, can you get in the gunner's seat?
Both of us just look at Tommy.
Because Donna
Tommy.
is like tending to John and Robin still, and
Donna's
My
doing what
captain
medical
nearby.
things that she can.
Okay.
I'll assist Donna if I can.
Scrub, you're gonna have to let them know when you're ready to take off, and I guess Donna and Allison, if you're tending to the wounded, you're gonna need to tell Scrub when everybody's strapped in and ready to go and stable, probably.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sure you've been
I'm-
doing that since you got on the ship, but this is
Mm.
like we've been on the ship probably with the door closed for like 3 minutes now, and it's time
Yeah.
to get moving.
Yeah,
Probably
and
you're
I'm-
hearing
At this point-
thudding against the entire time you guys are in here. You're hearing like thudding. You're hearing like claws, scratches. You hear things jump. You're hearing this screeching outside, and it is louder. And there's more
Yeah.
than just 3 noises now. And
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure you
think
guys are
Scrub-
seeing in the front there are several crawling towards you.
Yeah, I think Scrub is at this point giving whatever is left to like is giving a countdown over the comms that this is when he's gonna take off. And if some people have to get thrown around, that's not as bad as one of these things getting on the ship. Like we'll take some bumps and bruises over waiting to take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Donna has John and Robin secured, and everyone else can take care of themselves.
Yeah, everybody else, all the colonists are strapped in.
Yeah. I'm just an extra set of hands. Donna's the expert, so
You hear Coop go over the radio. He calls the Artemis and tells them that, talking to Tally, saying that they're you guys are getting ready to take off.
it's all
If
hit
Tommy
the
sees any aliens, he's shooting.
Oh,
All right,
Tommy's shooting.
Tommy's
shooting.
blasting. Pop,
Tommy's
pop.
blasting.
Pop!
Yes, I'll just go over the comms just real quick. Let Scrub know everybody's strapped in.
All right.
So if you hear any weird banging around, it's not us.
Well, Scrub, if you're ready to take off,
Yeah, I'm ready.
make a pilot roll.
Okay.
Roll for pilot things,
I'll roll for the pilot.
and I'll tell you how it goes.
Okay. Remembering how to do this. I think I just click on the piloting part, and I'm not adding or subtracting any dice. All right.
Oh,
Holy shit.
Look,
So I rolled
considering-
3 successes.
yeah. Considering this is a shitty situation, 10 out of 10 job.
Yeah.
Calm
3
under
successes,
With 3
no panic.
successes, you get some stunts.
Do a barrel roll, shake them off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You get some stunts. So if you want to like shake a couple of these things
a
off,
barrel
blast
roll.
them with your, I'll let you kill a couple of those things if you want
Yeah.
to.
I think Scrub like hits the thrusters as he's pulling up the landing gear, so the ship kind of like falls for a second as the side, like the vertical thrusters kick on, like a stunt that he probably pulled a lot in training that his instructors were not happy about, but he knew it would be useful for a situation like this, and then kind of spins the ship a little bit, like using the propulsion as he kicks on forward thrusters to just to torch as many of the ones around the ship as possible.
Yeah.
And then just rockets out of there as quick as can,
I'm
hoping
imagining
that
like in a 28 weeks later situation with like the helicopter, but like the front of the ship just pop, pop, pop takes out a couple of them, like as you hit the
Yeah.
forward thrusters as well.
yeah. And just like buzzes the engineering station and mechanical engineering as he's going past, and then just like off into the storm, hoping that we've shaken off any of the aliens that might be up and lurching on. latching on.
I think with 3 successes, I will say that you have successfully gotten rid of anything that might have been holding on to the ship.
Oof.
So
Something that's
there goes
never
that
happened in
idea
an
for me.
alien
No.
movie.
You've successfully gotten rid of that. Yeah, so it's a bumpy ride for sure, because you are flying through a storm. But with those 3 successes, you make it. You blast through the top of the storm. You hit the atmosphere, and you are back in the quiet of space, planning your approach with Mother on your way back to Artemis. It's going to take a little while because again, they're not in like prime position for, launch and everything. Cause this is what like a planned, jump up and down. Take a little while, take like 30, 45 minutes or so to get you there, but you've got everybody stable on the ship. You've shaken loose any little nasties that might have been clinging on. So there goes that idea.
Richard's gonna go into the part of the ship where everybody is, and then kind of go over the comms as well. And he's gonna be like telling everybody what to do basically, but if anybody else wants to be there with him to like do that, feel free to chime in and be there. But Richard just basically says like, all right, we have a little idea of what we were dealing with on the planet, but not much. As far as what's going to happen when we get back to the ship, everybody is going to be in quarantine until they are cleared, that they don't have any parasites or other attributes from the planet left in them or on them. And we'll clear everybody one at a time. So you're going to have to be, I was going to be polite and be like, so please be cautious. But no, you're going to have to listen to directions and do as you're told. And if anybody has any questions, we'll clear them up after everyone has been cleared. Is that clear with everybody now?
I think
Everyone nods in agreement.
Yeah, Donna leans
Yes,
over to Allison and flip a coin to see which of us goes through the scanner first.
I
I'll
normally
go on
don't like
first.
games of chance, but that seems appropriate.
Because at this point, assuming like we are the only group that we are reasonably confident is uninfected.
Yes.
Yeah, we should go ahead and knock that out.
Yeah.
Yep, so
You guys are sure you've been together the whole
Well,
time.
but
All
we-
like none of you have split off alone, I should say.
Yeah, but we also don't know how these things infected.
Yeah, not
that person.
100%.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you have no idea because you solved my my face hugger puzzle
Yeah.
before you got to
Yeah.
it.
And we don't know if
Despite
that
Val's best
what
efforts.
face hers is. But yeah, I think
I wanted one so badly.
If I may, I
Next
do believe
campaign.
that Dr. Donna and I should be some of the first to be scanned, so we can then help with processing everyone as quickly as possible.
yes, of course.
Joe will raise their hand and volunteer to go quickly as
Yes.
well, so they can help as well with the medical personnel or as medical personnel.
Yeah.
All right, Donna?
Has anyone had contact with the alien creatures on the planet? If you have, you'll be the first one scanned, just so we can get it out of the way.
Emma will pipe up and be like, not direct contact, but me and Robin were hiding for one in the greenhouse.
I think, if I may, Richard, any close proximity is quite enough to move him to the front of the line.
I agree.
All right. Donna, heads or tails?
Oh, let's
I'm imagining you guys flipping a coin in 0G.
yeah, just
Just watch
Wait,
Watch
just
it go.
let it spin until we get to the artificial gravity of the Artemis.
Yeah, there you go.
And
I like
then I think that gathering our group together, and whoever's the highest ranking officer from the ship that was already, or from the planet.
That would be Valia.
Okay.
Coop would be the highest ranking officer from the ship
Mhm.
because Tally is not here. But
Yeah.
as far
probably
as Colony,
all-
it would be Valia.
Yeah. Both of those people.
You could shut the little door area
Yeah.
of like the cockpit.
Yeah.
If you wanted to squeeze your group in there, it's like a
Mhm.
tight fit, but you could probably do it.
I wanted to let all of you know that I'm going to be contacting home as soon as possible to let them know what's going on here. If there's anything you'd like in that, or any questions you have about that, I'd like your input.
If I'm remembering right, we don't have instant communication back with like Wayland. It's we send our stuff and then eventually, like through Mother, and then we eventually get a response
Yeah.
back, right?
It could take 30 minutes to a few hours to a couple days. It just depends on where things are in relation to where you are.
Mhm.
It relays through several satellites and substations and space stations.
Trying to remember some of what we learned from John of like, if we tell, if we report back to the company like, hey, we found your your little science
Yeah.
experiments, are they just gonna like send a code and blow up the Artemis or something? Or
Yeah.
That's
like
a good point. If
You
they
guys will have to
think that-
decide if you want to
Yeah.
tell Wayland exactly what happened.
That's why I'm asking.
Because that is who you work for. That is who signs your paychecks.
Yeah.
Yep. I think what we need to do is we say that unknown life forms overran the colony.
Mhm.
Some colonists were lost, and we saved who we could, and are, obviously the original site is not habitable.
Mhm.
Recommendation: nuke the site from orbit, but we will see what they say. But at the very least, this colony is lost.
I think if we're going to go that route, they're not going to want to nuke the site if it's something. If they think they can salvage it. I think that we need to say something truthful, but also clear that there was a contamination. There's no chance of recovery. I don't want someone else coming to this planet.
Yeah. Thinking about that a little bit. Where do you think our lives rank in comparison to their science project down there?
Very poorly.
So now that we know these things are here, I mean, what reason did they have for sending so many people here other than for us to become, lab monkeys for them?
Well, they may still find some valuable data in knowing that people were able to escape. And so as long as we keep it close to our chest that we know that they are responsible for them, I think we may still have some amount of safety.
Right.
Maybe.
So,
It's
so
also
perhaps
it's also possible, I'll just put out there, that we jump back into hypersleep and we don't wake up because we're sent to a black site somewhere where we can't get this story out.
The probability of that is higher than most of you would probably like to hear.
I think it'd be best if we don't mention that we found the other facility.
Right. No, we just say some life form approached the colony and overran it.
But even if that's what I'm trying to say is even the knowledge of this life form existing, if this is some sort of Wayland proprietary experimental bioengineered life form and we've seen it, and now we're saying, hey, we don't want to live here, we want to go somewhere else, they're going to want to hold on to their patents or whatever corporate bullshit they're concerned about. And odds are the lives of how many people are on this ship again? It was like a couple thousand.
The ones coming, yeah, it's like 2,000 people.
But how many people are on our ship right now?
Like
Oh, that's
30,
right.
maybe up to 40.
Okay, it was just that. It was like 40 people. I didn't remember.
There
if
were
we had, like,
there's nobody else in hypersleep. It was
Yeah.
just your squad of 24 that came down, and then there were 24 at the colony previously. You have currently, it is U5 plus Michael and Tally on the ship, and then you've got the however many you saved.
Okay, but
Which
we're
is
Like
Frank-
a dozen.
we're like a couple dozen people
Hmm.
that are here right now that know about this.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. So, they make a couple dozen people go missing, so their secret stays secure. Like, if we
Well-
tell them anything, if we make them,
Yeah,
and
you
make it
5
seem
plus
like
13 that are still alive.
Right.
Right.
18.
There's
we
another.
are straight fucked no matter what we do right now, and I just want to make that absolutely clear.
Well, then, Scrub, what would you prioritize in the situation?
I don't know.
What's the goal?
I guess the
Sand
goal
jam.
at this point is to get off the grid as much as possible so Waylon can't find us.
We also have to make sure that they don't.
Kind of raises his hand.
We have to make sure that the colony doesn't arrive. That's
Yeah,
important.
Coop. What's your concern with this?
I have a lot of concerns.
Yeah.
But
Welcome to the club.
do we know? You said they came from that place that you guys found.
Yeah.
Were
Well,
they still living there?
No.
Didn't seem like it. Seemed like they were taking them somewhere else.
No, I believe they've nested somewhere close by.
Done a lot of hunting in my day. Do you think there's like a nest?
I think that's entirely possible that they've nested close by.
Did
Do
we
you
get all the
think we
information?
Have the capability on the Artemis to maybe look for a cluster of heat signatures and take that out instead of the colony, and then
Well-
maybe like find a way to like sweep through,
I think-
and
What would be the
get
point?
If we can,
not give up this whole planet. I don't
yeah.
know.
If we,
just,
I think that's
just
fair.
offering another suggestion. This isn't really my wheelhouse.
But
just
Coop's
throwing it
got a
out
point
there.
though. Like if we can get rid of the threat on world right now, that buys us some time to cover this up and not let Waylon know that anything is wrong. And it could be decades before they send anyone out here to check on that facility.
You're making a lot of assumptions that those of us in this room were the only ones in contact with Wayland.
Right, and also we have a reporter on board that we'd have to keep from telling the story, who's very eager to get it out there that something's happened.
Silence.
Well, I think we just stress the fact that this story getting out there would be bad for everyone's health.
Do also have the 1,000 or so colonists on their way here.
Yeah, and we can't stop that train rolling.
Well, what if...
Ship may be able to redirect if we let them know, beyond
Right,
reasonable suspicion that the colony is no longer an option.
I mean, that ship's got to be an autopilot right now. If we send any sort of transmission through them, Mother's just going to CC Wayland on it.
So far I think we have two options here. One is try to find the nest, destroy it in any way possible. The second option is that this group, and the group on the Artemis, goes dark, pretends that we have all died, and blow up the camp, telling that the ship that's coming that something irreparable has happened and everything's a bust and there's a contamination of some sort, a nuclear or something like that makes it so that it cannot come. And we all disappear into the night to find a new planet for the couple dozen of us that are here.
If I may, both of those are terrible options.
I'm not saying they're good.
Third option's death.
Also bad.
Yeah.
So
I mean, either way, we got to deal with what's on that planet because odds are we will not be here to tell the people coming what's going on.
The fact that Wayland and Newtonic did not tell us that they're here in the first place gives me a leeway to say that these things came and attacked us. We have no idea what they are. We could say that they are local population that was not found. And we've destroyed their nest, and now everything's fine. We just have to make sure that we get all of them. Otherwise, that way it saves our butts from knowing that they had anything to do with it. And saves us from having to reroute all those people who are on their way.
If that's enough, seeing them alone might be enough for Wayland Yutani to put an end to the rest of us.
Yeah.
If we fudge some science from it, that we've assessed them, or if that we, they attacked in the night, we don't know how much they know about them. We still have the hard drive. Have we looked through everything on the hard drive?
I haven't had time to go through all of it.
Might be enough for us to fudge that we actually know what they are. We could think that they are, we could assess that they are some sort of extraterrestrial that just happened to land on the planet and act dumb about it.
Given enough time, I could make it look like we believe they're native.
Or that as well.
I don't like lying, if I may interject.
Well, that's going to be a big problem, I think.
So, Mia,
Well, I don't
would you
to
have
talk much?
Would you have grievance with us doing either of these plans? As long as
I'll
you don't
do
have to
whatever
talk.
you tell me to, boss.
I assume that you don't want to go off the grid knowing about your ma.
I'd prefer not to unless we can get Mama on board with that plan. But I will.
Tanya, have you decided if Mama was on the next 2,000 people coming?
No. Well, we talked about it, but I don't.
Don't know if you ever made it.
I think you wanted to make sure that it was actually cool before you had her start the trip.
That sounds more like.
Mhm. Yeah, because
Alright.
you were
So
sending
maybe
some
not this one,
messages.
but the next one. She probably wouldn't come on like the first round of colonists, but maybe the next round of colonists.
Yeah, not until Tommy gives her the okay.
Okay. So Mama's not on the ship that's already on its way.
Correct.
So we're good.
I have no earthly connections outside myself, so either way.
How? Okay. I want to make sure I'm not going to like corporate conspiracy, but how much of our comms network
This is
does
the place to do
Wayland?
that.
Yeah, does
this
Wayland
is
control?
the campaign to do that in.
Yeah, like, but how much of our communication, like, how much of that is privatized that like Wayland controls everything that we do?
So this ship used to be a colonial marine ship, like the Sulaco in the second Alien movie. That's what you're on right now.
Okay.
That has been so. Yes, there is like Wayland has like put in the med bay and all of that stuff and made it like fancier and whatever. But it is in essence still a stealth marine ship that Wayland bought two of, decommissioned ones, and re-outfitted them for colony missions.
Okay.
So
I
knowing
feel like there was some
corporate
very heavy
things-
emphasis on that stealth aspect.
So knowing that this used to be a marine ship and you are a pilot, you would know that they would not have taken out, knowing Wayland, they're not going to cut corners. They're not going to rip out the whole comms console and add in their new one. So you know that you can, and this ship is capable of encrypting communications and decrypting communications. Because again, this used to be a marine ship.
So they probably retrofitted the
They
comms
retrofitted
device.
things.
And if we could reconfigure the comms network so that we could broadcast to without Wayland like authority through that, then we could potentially
Correct.
send out messages to other people without them being monitored. By
They
it.
did not rip out everything in the ship to put in all new things. They didn't just use the bones. They just added what they could and then added a bunch of hypersleep chambers to the to the Apollo, because that's the one that's going to be carrying like the thousands of people. So that one, all of the cargo is hypersleep, like everything. This one is still in essence a marine ship. You probably don't have a lot of like ammo and things, but there are still weapons on board if you can rehook them up. And it is still a stealth marine ship.
Tommy
That
can
if you
do
can
that.
figure out how to do all of these things, you know that they probably didn't rip everything out. They probably just did the bare minimum to make it, you know, a fancy new colony ship, as opposed to because it's, you also know that this was supposed to just stay in orbit around the planet and was supposed to be like the major communications relay back to the other planets. So that is my 10 cents.
Me, the person, since Tommy doesn't really know this, I'm like, okay, let's hook these guns up and shoot the colony from the sky.
You have people on board that could probably find a way to rig up some of these weapons. Maybe not the ones that require bullets, but the ones that require energy from your engines and your shields and all of those things that you just have normally.
Put Tommy on it. Put him on it.
So as you guys are making your way back to the Artemis, you can be thinking about all these things. But we'll get you guys back on the ship.
Yeah.
You can land in the bay, back in back in gravity, and does one of you want to flip a coin for the gravity coin flip?
I'll roll a 1d2.
Okay.
If it's a 1, Donna. If it's a 2, Ellison will go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ellison's up
Let's
first.
See you on the other side.
All right. So you guys are landing in the cargo bay. You know that you can funnel everybody out of it. Tally and Michael will, take your direction on the fact that you're going to take everybody from the cargo bay where this is landing straight into medical.
Mhm.
And you're just going to one by one start scanning everybody.
Yeah. Though I guess there is the question of like, are we revealing the results to everyone publicly, or
No, I mean, you guys can just like have everybody line up,
yeah.
and then you can have them come in one by one, and because it's not like a huge area where this polymed pod is, while they do like the scan,
Yeah,
while
I
you
think
guys are taking vitals and stuff.
the
But you
best option would
you
be
two
to, like,
and Joe are going to be up first to go
Mhm.
through.
yeah, I think the best option would probably be like, so have everybody line up, have people come in, get scanned by themselves, and then just funnel people into two different rooms.
Yeah, if anyone happens to be infected, we put them straight into hypersleep. Everyone else, we will be like, okay, go lie down on your bed or your
Yeah.
cot or something.
Yeah.
I'm about to see if anybody's infected. Hold on. Okay.
Surprise Pikachu face, we all somehow got infected.
Everyone's infected.
New
somehow.
plan. We start our own xenomorph colony.
You guys are the colony now, but you're
Oh.
trying to kill the 1,000 people that are coming soon.
That would be quite the twist for this campaign.
God, that'd be a fun game though, y'all.
All right.
Let's consider that option. Put that
Option
on the,
three.
Season two.
Option 3 is no
We're all
longer you
aliens.
all are dead. It's you're all aliens. And you're
We
trying to
could-
kill the next colonist.
I would love
Let's
to
try to
roleplay as an
reason.
alien.
Yeah, me too.
I think we try to reason with the aliens and say we'll get more people here for you to eat if you guys don't kill us, and then we'll backstab.
No one's ever tried bargaining with the xenomorphs before.
No.
So just
Not
saying.
once.
They're angry, but maybe they'll listen.
Yeah.
Have you also never tried bargaining with the tiger?
Tigers are notoriously ornery, so I would
Look,
never
if you
Las
give
Vegas
them
magicians
catnip,
do it all the time.
and
So
nothing bad ever happened to them.
Ooh, Val. I have bad news. Bad news for you.
All
Okay.
right, let's start scanning.
So you three are
Oh,
up first.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
trust
Three
these
medical
peop-
professionals.
I'm gonna trust these people to do their job well, and I'm gonna go to Michael and get fixed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fixes you up good as new. Do you want to like play that out?
We don't have to.
Okay, it's totally up to you if you want
Yeah.
to. but
Well,
he'll fix you
not-
up good.
well, you can do it after
Matting a
everyone
little
gets
tender
scanned.
Okay.
candlelight.
We
They're
can.
sitting there shirtless.
Do we want to
It's
do?
like,
Do we want to do that before everybody gets scanned or after everybody gets scanned?
Up to you.
Group, do you want to have a tender moment now or later?
Let's save it.
Okay. Let's scan everybody first.
Because Rach made a face I'm concerned about when she rolled that dice.
Okay. So the 3 medical professionals that are up first.
Yep.
You're all fine. We're gonna have Emma and Robin come in next. We'll say Emma's first. She's fine.
We do get Scrub and Tommy in there just
Oh yeah.
as a precaution.
They're
I know you
fine.
guys are fine, but
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
they're fine.
just as a
I say
I thought I
precaution.
was gonna die.
party is fine.
Scrub's just
Scrub,
keeping an
where
eye
are
out
you
to make sure
going?
that.
Are you just gonna stand there intimidatingly with a gun?
No, that's
Okay.
not what Scrub wants to do.
I didn't
Scrub's
think
making sure
so.
that Dick doesn't come by and the first moment and just sitting there with a gun to everyone that comes through the scanner. As soon as something goes wrong, just bam! All right, kick him out the airlock.
So you're gonna hang around by the line and like
yeah, I mean,
outside
Scrub's
the...
gonna wait because the ships and stuff probably need tending to. So probably once everybody's through and they're clean, like Scrub will head back to
Okay.
Lebay and make sure the Orpheus is all ready, and then
It would also
start.
be nice to have the people who know how to use guns here just in case.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even have a gun.
Yeah, Scrub does have a gun on them in case somebody does explode, but before we get them scanned.
Just in case. Otherwise, I'm going to have to fist fight an alien.
Scrub isn't sure yet how much these aliens are aware of dramatic irony to pop out as soon as they've been detected.
Mm-hmm. Something about the radiation of the scanner, like
Yeah.
makes the
I mean,
water
I know
break,
from the
for lack of a better term.
from the movies, the aliens seem to have an innate sense of dramatic irony at all times. So I'm assuming it holds for the game.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So y'all are fine. Tommy, are you gonna hang out in that area as well? Are you gonna go tend to other things?
It depends. If boss wanted me to go fix guns or go fix anything, that's what he's going to do.
I think first he would want you to make sure everybody's scanned. For
So
sure.
I'll stand in the same area.
Okay. So you guys are hanging out down there. You're like kind of by the line. So I think I decided that the like med bay and everything are down in the same area as the cargo area. There's like the cargo bay, and then there's like a huge like wall with some like doors and stuff, and then you go through, and that's where all like the medical bay and the like science I don't want to say bay, that area.
I mean, that's
the
what it
areas for
is.
science. It is, yeah. They've retrofitted like they've taken like half of what was the cargo bay because they obviously don't need the whole thing for this kind of a ship anymore that they needed for a marine ship, and they turned those into like a huge med bay and a huge like science area. So you guys have, there's the door from in between where the Orpheus is and where the medical bay and the science area are. There's like a line going down like the hallway that like kind of separates those things, but the door is shut from the cargo bay. So everybody's just kind of like lined up, just kind of like
Lab.
nervously standing around like in the lab.
That's the
yes,
science
the
word.
lab.
The
yes,
lab.
the lab. So you guys are hanging out, and everyone just kind of standing in line with Tommy and Scrub, just kind of like making sure everything's fine while you guys are scanning people. So Emma and Robin go through, and they are fine. And then we'll say who's next. We'll say John. You guys kind of dragged him into the med bay anyway, so him and Valia will get scanned next. Just kind of like help and lug him around. And he's gonna end up having to stay on a bed in there because his leg is all fucked up, and he needs to be laid in the med pod and worked on. But this seems like you've got him stable, so he's just gonna kind of chill out and wait to get like stitched up.
Yeah, I was
Got like a
imagining
saline in him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I was
stitched with an
imagining
IV, some
like
morphine.
anybody who was injured, like actually injured, we probably sort of pushed to the front of the line, like
Mhm.
Mhm.
just not knowing like what all the transmission methods and everything
Yeah.
are. Like, okay.
Yeah. So he gets scanned and he's fine. Value gets scanned and she's fine. She's gonna join Scrub and Tommy out in the hall, just kind of like reassuring the colonists and everything that everything's fine. But John is gonna be bedridden for a little while with his leg injury until you guys can get him into the med pod. But that's being used currently to scan for foreign bodies. We'll say Frank and Emma will go next. Oh no, Emma already went because she was with Robin. So we'll say Frank goes next. He was behind his wife. And Nora and Coop. Then Nico and Bex will go through. They're both fine. Damn, I keep rolling evens.
So you
I was
that was
so
like
worried about
That's
Bex.
everybody.
I was 100% sure it was going to end
I
up being
was
Bex.
so worried.
I
That
was
Okay.
ready to
I
go
keep
on a
rolling evens.
revenge
I
mission.
rolled for the first half of people. And I said odds are infected and evens are not. And I rolled evens and I was like, all right, good, they're good. And then I split up the last half. Everybody's fine. Nobody's infected, my
Oh my
friends.
God.
I rolled an even again.
sometimes the
Alright.
dice are in our favor.
Sometimes the dice are in your favor. And apparently this little pink D4 loves you guys today.
Well,
Well,
we
I
love
think
you too, little pink D4.
we do. Well, I think we can all take a collective sigh of relief. Seems nothing made it on board.
Yes. Donna takes like 2 seconds and then is like, okay, and then like goes over to John and the others who are like injured and switches gears like, okay, now to
Doesn't
continue doing my
realize
job.
this weight had like lifted off of her shoulders until
Mhm.
it did.
Tommy, dear, if you would just let Richard know that everyone's clean.
On it.
And we can pop upstairs to Richard.
Yeah,
Did we
Richard.
get Michael scanned at some or no, well, we should still get Michael and Tally scanned just to be absolutely safe.
Because they were on planet at some point.
They were on
Yes.
planet and you're not sure how these things are infecting people. So
That's
yeah,
true.
at some point they'll pop downstairs and get scanned.
How about now? How about now? is the
How
point.
about for now?
I must insist.
They'll come downstairs one by one. Tally comes down, reunites with Coop, in an annoyingly adorable fashion, and then and then hops into the med bay. I'm not really sure why this is necessary.
Everyone on planet is being scanned. Don't take it personally.
Lays back in the bed. I feel fine.
Good.
She's fine. Pops back out. See, told ya.
Waiting for
Grabs
the
Coop.
scanner to go ding.
Oh shit! No, pops back upstairs. Goes to the bridge, and Michael will pop down. I'm not sure that one of these things can incubate inside of me.
No one is. That's why I was scanning you.
All right. Lays down in the med pod. He's fine. Hops back out. I don't think I have the necessary organic materials.
More research is necessary, but I'll note your objection. Return to your officer.
Goes back upstairs to find Richard. Help patch him up.
Yeah, he's got his like face is open. The little like they just cut open a spot of it so that he can get in there and like really get those
Yeah, Michael's just
extra
like
bits.
straddling a stool like in
Mhm.
one of your rooms. He's got like a tray of tools set out like in front of him. He's got like some, he's
that
like got the
scene in
clamps done.
Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. He's like got some clamps like on your stuff. He's like, there's like the surgical clamps like
Yeah.
sticking out of your face, and he's like, patching like the the different like tubes and stuff back together, like soldering some wires.
Yeah.
Very tedious work in the face.
Mhm.
Want to make sure you can still move your cheek muscles. It's like
Of
very focused.
Of course, I don't know. I feel kind of embarrassed, if I can,
About
being revealed like this.
I'm not sure why you kept it a secret in the first place.
Oh, we've talked about this. I wanted to experience what it was like being a human, and then, well, after that, being a human seemed more beneficial for being an officer. People treated me different. I don't know. Just got
If you were a
used to it.
human, you would be dead right now.
Well, perhaps I can't have both the best of both worlds.
They are so fragile.
They are very fragile. That's why I try to protect them as much as I can, knowing what I am.
I don't think anyone can say that you haven't tried to do your best, given the tools you were given to work with.
I don't think everybody would say that.
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I know you well enough to know that you're trying to keep everyone safe to the best of your abilities. They
That's
might not
what
agree
I-
with your methods. They don't have to, because you're the
Right.
ranking officer.
Right. But I fear that this will make them see me in a different light, as it has. Not only for what I am, but for not telling them.
Everyone has secrets. I'm sure if you looked in the heads of everyone that you've been companioned to recently, they'll have their own.
I hope they see it that way. They seem like they were willing to keep it secret for now, but I think at least Scrub and I need to have a conversation. I think I owe him that.
If you feel that that's something you need to do, then once I get you patched up, you should do that. What is it everybody says? You shouldn't go to bed angry.
Well, the fact that we don't sleep probably helps with that, huh?
We don't end the day angry.
You know, as a synthetic, we have a lot of things that we can occupy our mind with, but one of the things that was occupying my mind while I was down there was coming back, making sure that you were all right.
Oh, well, I can't say that I wasn't also worried about you while you were down there. I've come to understand through your obsession with feeling more human, I found myself being more intrigued by the idea of experiencing those emotions myself. And I did worry about you.
Well, we have a lot of things to do ahead of us. There's many things that need to be done, many decisions that need to be made, and I don't feel like it's my place to make all of them.
I think this is one of those times that's going to call for democracy,
I agree.
since every outcome is going to affect everyone equally.
I don't mind being the bad guy if it comes to a decision that is better, but maybe not all of the people on this ship agree. I think maybe a small group deciding is for the best.
I think most people like to be included in decisions that affect their lives, but this is also a situation in which they assumed that the rest of their lives were going to be spent on this planet, and it's not looking like that's going to be possible now. So you might be right, a small group might be the better option, but I still think you should probably discuss it with everyone who it does affect.
I think that's correct. All right. How's it looking?
Huh?
Am I going to have a scar?
To human eyes, no. I can see a slight right there. There's like a little bit of a tear that I couldn't get quite perfect, where it kind of ripped.
The cheek muscles feel like they're working properly. Thank
They
you.
look like they are.
Your delicate hands have done it yet again.
Try not to get any more injuries like this. If only so that I don't have to worry about you like this again.
True. I'll do my best.
But I'm glad you're
But,
not human, because then you'd be dead.
I'm ultimately glad that I'm not human as well. I best get back to the others.
I'm gonna go join Tally on the bridge. I think that's where she wanted to talk to everyone.
All right.
I think Valia's going to head that way as well. They're probably in some debate over who's in charge up here. I should probably go make sure they haven't hit each other yet.
That's fair. I'll gather my group. I want to have a small discussion with them first, but we'll head back with the group, with everyone else.
I'll see you over there.
Thank you.
And he'll head to the bridge.
Yeah. I'll try to grab I know decisions need to be made, but I think maybe having a small conversation with everybody in our little group first before we get into things might be best.
With everyone, yeah.
With just these 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll call over the comms to have everyone meet me at the cockpit, which I assume is bigger than on the other ship.
Yeah, well, the cockpit, Michael just said he and Tally and Valia are probably there.
Okay.
Then if Tally's there, then Coop's probably there.
Yeah, maybe
so
just go to the med
if
bay.
you want to exclude them, yeah, you know that Hemlock and Donna are probably down in the med bay, and Joe is ever polite and sweet, and they will probably just see themselves out if they feel like you need to have a conversation that they don't need to be a part of.
Yeah.
Either that or Joe keeps an eye on the patients while we step out.
Yeah, exactly. You guys can go into the like science lab and probably have a conversation because nobody needs to be in there. And Joe can keep an eye on any of the patients that are hooked up to IVs and that kind of stuff if you want to do that.
Yeah. Everyone hydrate. Thank you, Chris. But yeah, Richard will ask everybody to come into the science lab with him, and sort of he's just kind of standing in there when you all arrive, and he's got his he's almost fidgeting with his hands, but he will say, "I know we have a lot of things to discuss, but I'm sure as soon as we have a big discussion with the group, decide what we're going to do, there won't be a lot of time for talking, so I thought we'd get this conversation out of the way. I am a synthetic. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you, but Waylon had nothing to do with it for me keeping the secret. It was a choice of mine, and very few people know the truth, and I wanted to keep it that way. So I hope that this doesn't, and I know that trust is earned, and I hope that this isn't a turning point for any of us as far as your ability to trust me moving forward."
My feelings are unchanged.
I don't know why it needs to be addressed. Do people not like whatever it is you are for some reason?
Yeah. A lot of people have a lot of feelings about the synthetics.
Well, that's too bad for them.
I'm curious, Tommy, do you really not feel any resentment that Officer Ram was keeping secrets?
I mean, Officer didn't ask my ethnicity. I kind of think it's the same thing. I don't see why it matters.
I think Tommy makes a valid point. Regardless of the inner workings of your brain, it works how it works. You're going to make the same leadership decisions either way. Whether we agree with them is another discussion entirely. But you're wired how you're wired. That's all humans are, really. Neurons and wiring.
I mean, it can't make me like you or respect you any less. So.
Would you like to discuss what happened on planet?
I don't even know if it's worth getting into at this point. We've got to figure out what we're doing with a boatload of people here and the ones coming down the way. But yeah, I mean, if you tell me that Wayland didn't send you here on some sort of secret sabotage mission or something, I guess I just got to take you for your word for it.
If I might, Scrub, I think it might be worth hashing out a bit what happened on planet. Just based on the fact that we are still technically under Richard's command. And we should be able to trust a commanding officer.
Kill them all like God sort them out.
All right, Tommy. I feel like you are an onion and we just get a different layer every time. I think we don't have time to get into that. Yeah, I mean, I think your decision back at the facility was a shit one. I think I made that pretty clear.
Given the outcome, do you still believe that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, given the chance to do it all over again, I've done it the exact same way. Who knows? We might have been able to get her out of there faster, get her someplace, get her into cryo faster. I don't know. Could have done something different, but I don't think it's worth giving up on people just because the numbers don't add up.
I think, as you recall, I wasn't suggesting that we kill her. I was suggesting that we leave her. And the reason I did so was to protect the people that I'm responsible for, including y'all and everyone on the ship.
If I might make another interjection, I do not believe that's the only decision that's the crux of the issue. Pulling a loaded weapon on a teammate is...
Did do that. Don't want to
Really
forget
what I was
about
gonna
that part. There was a gun in my face as a reaction to that. But and I appreciate you bringing that to the forefront, Ellison.
I'm
it's
a
not
wealth
the
of
first
information.
Not the first time I've had a gun drawn on me. I'm sure it won't be the last, but it does not make me want to follow your orders anymore than when something like that happens. Either way, your justification for all that is what it is. I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. You're gonna do what you're gonna do.
I think the trouble comes in with the inability to follow the orders that were given to you.
Well, the way
And
I
the-
see it now with... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And the threat that was given in that area was a threat to not only us, but everyone at camp. You were posing a threat. That's why I
And in the
did it.
face of that, you were willing to shoot Scrub. Were you not?
When it came down to pulling the trigger, no.
Then you shouldn't have pointed the gun in the first place. A threat isn't a threat if it has no teeth. But the damage is still done. And as it stands, I don't know that myself or Scrub, I don't speak for the other two, trust that's the case. Unless you've been given the gift of dealing out capital punishment by Wayland Yutani.
I just
Have I?
think
I'm sorry, I want to know personally. Okay.
How can we trust a leader we cannot speak to? Because if he disagrees with us, we are under threat of violence and losing our lives.
if I recall correctly, it wasn't a quick conversation and then old officer pulled the gun. I thought it took a while, and all I got to say is what happened to following orders. I thought everybody would be better at that and we never would have gotten this position.
Well, I think that brings up another point. And again, I'm not really here to litigate the past, but where we are currently is we're about to walk in a room a bunch of people and tell them that what Wayland Yutani's been up to. Wayland Yutani's the one that set the pecking order around here. I think we might need to reconsider some things as far as who's in charge and what we're doing and who's responsible for what, depending on what everybody wants to do, because I doubt everyone's going to be on the exact same page here. And I'm not going to force anyone to do things that they won't, but people have different ideas what to do. We're all going into this even because we've all been fucked evenly here, I think is what I'm trying to say. So
These
I
people
like
need
that.
to be able to trust their leadership. And so do we, regardless of where we go moving forward.
yeah.
And you would know that as far as pecking order goes, on the colony, Valia, as the marshal, is in charge.
Mhm.
She had one deputy who went missing, one of the people you went after. And Richard going down there would be underneath her as far as pecking order as like an officer. On the ship, Tally is in charge. Coop is her first mate. And then Richard would be like the officer, like underneath them, essentially, as far as like pecking order goes for your rank things.
Mhm.
So yes, when Tally, Coop are not there on the ship, Richard would be in charge. Michael is kind of like he doesn't really like throw around authority, but he would probably be like, you know, about even with Richard, maybe not in an official capacity, but as a respect capacity, just because of like who he is, what he does on the ship, which is like everything. Because he's the walking, talking mother, essentially. You know what I mean? He's the one who's like communicating with everybody. And then and on the colony, it would be, you know, Valia and then Richard down there. So that's where you're weird. When you walk into this meeting, it's going to be probably very strange because you are on the ship, which is where Tally is in command. You also have Valia, who is in command on the colony, and there's a fuck ton of colonists that are just waiting around trying to figure out what the hell is going on. But you all have all of the information. So this is about to be a very strange meeting if you didn't already catch that vibe.
Yeah.
Well, plus, and the point that I was trying to make too is like this was the structure that we were all hired by Wayland Yutani to follow. Like we didn't necessarily, I'm assuming we didn't really have a say on who was in charge and who was doing what. So some assumptions could be made that the people that are in charge may be more culpable to like what Wayland was doing on this planet than others. And you know, if some of us, and I know Scrub is kind of on the point of like going rogue here.
Everyone's paychecks, every person that is receiving a paycheck for doing this is coming from Wayland.
Yeah,
every single person.
And
even you, Scrub.
Oh no, and I know, and that's the thing that's like, I mean, Scrub's mindset is like,
dual income, no kids.
We don't know who to trust here
Wayland.
because anyone here could have been in on this.
Everybody's a suspect.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Scrub knows they're not.
Nora. Nora is not getting paid. Nora is the only person. Nora,
as far as she says.
As far as she says. She is not being. She works for a newspaper. Newspaper. I don't know what they are in this day and age. She works for
a news site.
A blog.
Probably,
she works for a news. She works for news. She works for the news. But her
job is news.
Her job is news. She is a journalist. An unbiased organization pays her actual paychecks.
She says.
But you can assume that because Wayland hired her to do this like essential fluff piece, that she is getting some monetary kickback from Wayland. So every person that is on this colony is in some way, shape, or form being paid by Wayland to be here.
Yeah.
And you received lots of fun, hazard pay and all these benefits. Like this was a job that wasn't like I guess I'll have to take this. This was like a wow, I'm getting paid really well to go here. Like
Mhm.
almost suspiciously well.
Yeah.
What you're saying is we should just take the Artemis down, crash it into the planet, and take us all with it, because none of us can be trusted.
None of you can be
Yes.
trusted. If you're looking at who's being paid and culpable from Wayland, every single person
Vent us
here
all into space.
is-
Everyone is
Mm.
sus.
Everybody's sus. So
Yeah. I want to
Um,
see everyone's paychecks though, because the person being paid the most, that's the traitor.
Yeah.
So, that's what I
Unless
need.
they're
I
paying
need-
someone higher to throw off suspicion, and it's
Oh!
the second
Then we-
highest
Oh,
paid
We
no.
to
killed
be
the
the
God.
top
traitor.
2 highest paid people here.
All
But what if it's the
All
third
right.
and the
all
fourth?
right, all right, all right.
All right. Well, regardless of everyone's opinions, we need to come to a decision now of what we're doing, who we're trusting, and how we're going to handle this moving forward.
My ultimate goal is to instill, is to assure that the group as a whole is safe. I am not concerned about how much Wayland Nutani has paid or what they were doing on this planet. This group on this ship, that is my biggest concern. And that's where I stand as far as big decisions needing to be made.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what safety looks like for anyone now.
We're not in a position of safety right now. We're going to have to
Yeah.
get through this to be. So, as a group,
How
we
much
have to put our
could
trust somewhere.
how long could the life support on the Artemis sustain the people here?
a
I
very
looked at
long
the
time.
doctors,
Mhm.
assuming they might know the
Yep.
answer, knowing the GM probably
Oh.
needs to.
Several years at least.
Assuming
Ye-
there's
so we're
no
looking at
damage to the
years.
You're
hyperspace.
looking at years. Yeah.
Okay.
You're looking at years.
Even without the stuff that we have on, like the stuff that we took planet side, the stuff
Yeah.
that we have here, we have enough food, everything.
Yeah,
to
you guys will be
last.
fine for years. And
Okay.
you know that you have botanists on board. They have seeds that didn't get brought down to the planet yet. There's still a ton of stuff that you guys didn't, because you didn't have a chance to make a bunch of runs. There's a bunch of stuff in cargo
Mhm.
that you could still, like, you could grow things on the ship in the science lab. Like, you could live here indefinitely.
Essentially, if we were to all agree to it and get everything up and running, the ship could sustain life indefinitely.
Right. And how long till the second wave of colonists gets here?
6 months?
I think I said a year.
A year?
Yeah.
I want
I
to
just
say,
want
a
to
year.
say that's no kind of life I want to live.
A year, give or take.
Tommy makes an excellent point. If we do decide to stay on the ship and go black and make up some excuse why this planet is uninhabitable, we'll have to find another one for us.
Well, if we're going to live, we're going to have to decide how. I'm perfectly content to stay on the ship for as long as we need, but I don't hold the same lifestyle as everyone else. So,
Well, I did have one thought, and it's a bit crazy.
Let's
I'm
hear it.
told there are no bad ideas in brainstorming sessions.
Might change your mind, but yeah. All right. Nobody wants to be stuck on this ship for a year, right? I mean, I guess we could go into cryo again, set the egg timer for 11 months, and then.
Again, I really don't mind.
But assuming that we don't want to be stuck here for a year and lose out on that time, we got to deal with the threat on planet if we're going to go back down there. So we can't nuke it because I don't know if we have any nukes on this ship. But even if we did, we got to live there afterwards. Not a good way to start. So we're going to have to find that nest. Yada yada. Deal with all that if we even can. And if we're successful there, then we got to have some sort of leverage against Wayland to keep them from just trying to set up shop again down here and putting us all at risk a couple years from now, right? Do we think we have enough evidence as it is that if we were to talk with, was it Nora? Was
Nora.
the journalist?
Mhm.
That Nora might have enough that if she was able to get a encrypted message out to someone as sort of like a kill switch, we could essentially negotiate with Waylon to leave us the fuck alone.
Certainly possible. Have her prepare the fluff piece that Wayland is looking for, but also have the truth ready to go should something happen.
I'd like a little bit more time to go through the rest of the drives, but that's only going to supplement what I already have.
We're gonna go try and chop these aliens up. 'Cause if we are, we're probably gonna die, and it's not really worth talking about all this right now. I say we just go chop them up and figure it out after.
Certainly a
interest-
perspective.
Cannot get a read on you, Tommy Bosco.
Well, depending on what we have at our disposal with Artemis, we may not need to risk personal injury in dealing with the nest.
Right,
But-
this was a declassified warship. There's got to be something on here we can use.
I can work on the comm side of things if someone else can get, after our meeting, if we can convince Valley, nope, the one that's in charge of the ship.
Tally.
Tally.
Tallahassee.
Yeah, we can convince Tally to run the scan, see if we can pick up heat signatures on planet, find where this nest is, and then take the Orpheus on some strafing runs until those dots don't go beep anymore. Minimal risk to us.
Can take a look at the weaponry if you'd like.
Sure.
And Tommy runs up. Oh wait, we're still.
I think
talking.
we're still talking.
hold on,
Hold on.
Tommy,
Come
hold
back.
on.
Tommy's eager to do a thing with the
Tommy had a mission and it's like, okay, let me
Oh,
go.
there you go.
I have a job. I'm going.
But if we
Let me tinker. Tommy's
we
an
can-
artificer at heart.
if we can secure the site and then have this blackmail prepared, I don't think Wayland be willing to make a run at us if they're risking exposure on their little science project here.
I do want to remind you of the last time somebody tried to blackmail or expose the Wayland. Remember what happened?
That
It
was
was-
just one guy. I'll remind you guys. That was one guy who was a
Mhm.
prisoner on a colony. Or not a colony, on like a prison planet. Not the most reputable source for information. And he was
Is this
half
one of
crazed.
the movies or
Yes,
something
yeah,
from
that
earlier in the
Alien
campaign?
3, right?
Yeah, the third
Never
movie.
seen it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fine.
the third movie.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
And
That's
I
what
imagine
happened.
we wouldn't even know about that because Alien would have covered
Yeah,
it
there's
up.
no
Or
way.
Wayland
Yeah.
would have covered
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
But the
Well-
book did circulate, so you
Mhm.
can make the character decisions if you've heard about it in rumors and
Okay.
things. You know what I mean? You can make the character
So
decision
there
if
is
you...
some sort of like, that is more like
Yes.
ravings of a madman out
Yeah.
there. That
It's
that-
ravings of a
okay.
madman, but now that you guys are here, you're like,
Mhm.
holy shit, he
Yeah.
might not have been as crazy.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
again,
And-
not the most reputable source for
Mhm.
information.
Whereas we are more.
Where you guys are not crazy people who were put in prison on a planet.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of colonists that were hired
You're a bunch
by
of colonists that were
Right.
hired by Wayland to go to
Right.
this planet and colonize
Yeah.
it.
I'm
So
not-
Just went
your
frontier
blackmail,
crazy.
Yeah.
your blackmail would hold more weight.
Right.
We
I'm not
need
saying
to make a decision.
Yes.
Right. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that that is something that needs to be taken into consideration. Let's
We're
talk with-
reputable and posing a united front, so
I think
Let's-
if we take that idea. Sorry? I
You
can't hear
muted
you.
yourself, Tanya.
Tommy says, Y'all have fun talking about this. I'm gonna go work on that weaponry, so I'll catch you guys later. Let me know what you decide.
Right.
Tommy's out.
You can't do it anymore.
All right.
What are the odds Tommy is the plant?
Almost.
I would have said none until that moment, and I got real sus.
Regardless, Tommy is right.
I think
We do
Tommy
need to
just
make a
vented.
decision.
We need to go. We need to have a vote.
What do we
How's
do?
Tommy already in weapons? It's across the ship.
All
Sus.
right. Go talk to the rest of the group, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would do you want to take a personal vote, or do you want to present or your plan to present all of these options to everyone, or at least the few people that are in charge, and then have your small group decide?
No, I think
Right.
we should decide and say this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
Also,
then just kind of bully everybody into
Yeah.
deciding that this is what you've decided is the best plan.
I think it would be good for one of us to present this idea as like a this is what we need to do sort of situation, like sell it
We've weighed
more
the
so.
options.
Yeah. I would suggest to myself just because of my abilities in the game, but I don't know how everyone would feel about that.
as a
Of course you
group,
would,
we need to
yeah.
decide what we're doing first, though.
I think personally, either clearing it out ourselves. That is something. I think that's the best possibility. I think that using the blackmail is something that we could do.
Well, that was part of the same plan.
Yeah, exactly. Or the other option within that would be to pretend like we have no idea what was going on and like act stupid and like so that they don't find us suspicious at all. Like,
Yeah,
oh, there was
I mean-
these weird wildlife here. Well, we took care of the nest, so it's okay.
Well,
and then
so
like
I
not
I
talk
think
about
Scrub
anything
was
else.
implying that like
Yeah.
we cannot mention that we ever saw an alien at a xenomorph
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
any point, because as
Yeah.
soon as we say that, we are
Yeah.
liabilities.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's a viable
Yeah.
option because somebody's going to say something.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
still have to
Let's go
consider
around.
John.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Richard. What does Richard want to do?
I think taking out the nest and any other stragglers, and we could do the blackmail as long as we, as long as it makes sense that her paper that she's working for, whatever it is a viable way to get it
Yeah.
out. As far
Nora
as like
does the
it's not
fluff
just
piece, and then she has a kill
blog.
switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yes. All right, Allison,
Scrub's plan.
which is what Richard just
Well,
described.
what
Yes.
Richard just described, yeah.
Okay, Donna.
Yeah, I think that's the most practical. I think Donna is still in support of like we need to keep the Apollo from getting to this planet, but seeing as that
Until
is
you
unlikely to
secure it.
happen,
Yeah.
I mean we
This
have
is
like
the
a
best
year
idea.
until that
Yeah,
happens.
That's
but-
longer term.
I
though.
looked
We
at
don't
my
have to worry
notes.
about
You
that
have
today.
you have 2 years until the
2 years.
until the Apollo is gonna get here.
We don't have to worry about the Apollo today.
Nope.
Yep.
You don't have
We
to
can
worry
worry
about
about
it
that
for 2 more
tomorrow.
years. Yes. So you have 2 years to clear this planet if that's what you decide to do.
So yeah, so I think we probably in that case take some time, get everyone on the ship like back into shape, figure out like is John going to run off and report to Wayland Yutani right away and
I'll cut off his leg.
ruin this whole thing, or
We had to
Allison will
anticipate.
put him into a fucking medical coma and never say a word about it.
if we need to,
I
we'll
did
put him in
not take the same
hypersleep.
oath that Donna did.
And Scrub likes their plan.
I like my plan.
I like.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna come up with another plan to vote for.
So
now
it
that
seems
everybody's
like it seems like everybody's on board with
I'm
this plan,
begging
and
you to
Tommy
not do
just
that.
wanted a damn job. So he's gonna go fix some weapons so you guys can fucking take care of this nest.
Tommy is like this is not a perfect comparison, but he is the entry level employee who is somehow in the C-suite meeting and just like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I being involved?
Why
in
did
this?
somebody hand me a portfolio? Why am I looking at this information? This is my first day. I'm supposed to be in the mail room. I don't understand.
But Tommy thinks whatever we need to get the nest quick because he's worried about the people that are just dragged away, maybe still alive. And
I think
Yeah, the
Donna would
reproduction
make
is a
something of
big-
like they are like the people are screwed.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
they are
dead.
already
They're
gone.
done.
Like we cannot
Never
rescue
mind.
them.
Let's-
I imagine
But-
Donna tries to say it nicely, and Ellison is like, "Oh no, they are dead."
Yeah, but
Also, we don't know how fast they reproduce, so
and if
or
they
how
can do it without human
exactly.
hosts,
So we're faster is better.
But
Yeah.
what if we could get in there and save them?
If
No.
we start talking
Yeah,
about
what would
another
Scrub
plan,
do?
I am
Would
Would Scrub
literally
go
going
in
to
there and
lose
do
my
that?
mind.
Go ahead.
Make them our pets.
Right now, this
Yeah.
is the plan. And
Mhm.
after you guys are done with this conversation, you are going to go up to the bridge
Mm-hmm.
and have a conversation with the people that are there. And then you
Mhm.
can decide whether or not you want to loop all the colonists in or if you just want to talk to like the command portions of colonists.
Mhm.
Before we do that, we're going to go on break.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out in chat with us and watching this on the VOD or whatever, whenever or wherever you're watching. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a drink, grab food, grab a friend, or do a little stretchy stretch and take your meds, guys. Come on, don't forget. I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. We're gonna get back into things. We're gonna go talk to the rest, well, the other heads of state, heads of the planet.
The other members of Congress for this planet.
Yes.
Now, the real question is one of you going to be a designated survivor in case something happens to this meeting? I'm just kidding.
I have the final girl hat, right? I think it's in my car.
Oh,
I can put it on
no.
the shirt though.
All right, so you guys go to the bridge. It shows a terrible time to grab a couple Cheez-Its. And you get to the bridge, and it is Michael, Tally, and Valia. And Coop.
Are they
Everyone else is just kinda
in the
hanging
middle
out.
of an argument?
No,
Okay.
they're just kind of sitting around, chatting about what happened. Valia's kind of like telling her side of the story when you get
Okay.
there. Kind of updating them on what happened. Coop's interjecting every now and then with what, things that he remembers when people were coming back and what you guys told him when you guys met up with him.
Mm-hmm.
But they still don't have like the full picture of what you guys have.
Right. Are y'all cool with Richard speaking about this? Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So Richard will approach them in kind of wait until they lull in their conversation or just like until they acknowledge his presence and start going over exactly what we found and what we did Ellison get a chance to look at the file more, or will they be doing that while we're doing this?
I would like to have, but I'll take whatever time I need to do that.
You can hook it up to one of the computers in the back on the bridge and do that while y'all are having this conversation. Ellison can multitask.
Yeah.
They can
I'll do
listen to a
that.
conversation while going through files.
Okay. Yeah, Richard will give all of the information. I think obviously going to leave out the argument and talk about how we, what we found at the research facility, that it was a Wayland facility. We believe that the creatures came from this place. They were using people as experiments for these creatures. That's why we scanned everybody when we came back. We know that they can incubate inside of these beings, or the beings can incubate inside of us, and all that. Like even the part about the acid, we're not sure about that, and like that sort of stuff. So just kind of lay out that, and then say, I think that this group here should come into an agreement and take it to the rest of the people on the ship. We need to be a force of leadership for them so that we can do what needs to be done and protect all the people on the ship that are coming this way. And protect ourselves, honestly. There's a lot of problems that come with this. Our plan is we take out the nest from orbit and any stragglers that we can, and make sure that everything is safe before we return. And dealing with Waylon, we have decided to create a piece of blackmail so that we could release if needed, so that we don't have any repercussions for doing what we did, and making sure that nothing like this happens on our planet again.
Tally kind of takes a second, thinks what you said, kind of like side glance at Coop, who kind of like gives her like a yeah, little like nod. To like try not to be super obvious, but obviously they have a very healthy relationship, but they like confer with each other over like big decisions, but like she's still in charge in this situation. And she kind of says, you know, well, if you think that's the best course of action, I'm sure we can find a way on the ship to find out where they're located. And I mean, I know the ship better than anybody, and I'm sure we can find a way to re-rig one of these weapons that's decommissioned into being able to take out the wherever this nest is you're talking about. As far as blackmailing Wayland goes, I'm in. They might sign my paychecks, but I know they're fucked.
Right, I think we all have our hold-ins about them, and what they're actually after and what they actually want. As far as safety is not their highest concern, or our safety, that is.
I thought I was being paid too much to be here anyway, which is essentially a babysitting mission. So my suspicions were kind of correct, and that this wasn't exactly what it appeared to be. So if that's what we have to do to get them off our backs and maybe be able to live peacefully, blackmail away. But you're gonna have to convince Nora, and she's the tough cookie.
I'm sure I can do my best. I think another thing that we have to worry about is that someone on this ship could be in bed with Wayland. In a more direct sense, that they would betray us and talk to them as directly as they could.
Valia's been very quiet, and she'll pipe up and be like, I mean, obviously John let on more than he told us about from the beginning, but I think, judging by his reaction on the planet, he values his own life more than the company prerogative. And I think he knows enough about the company to realize that if they're going to come down here and kill everyone, if we don't stick to this narrative, that he's also going to be dead. So if you want my vote for who's probably in bed with Wayland more than the rest of us, it would be John. But I think he values his own life higher than, the company line.
Do you think it's wise for us to be monitoring communications from this point out?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
I told everyone before I came in here that they weren't to make any communications outside of ship, and Tally had Michael shut that down.
All right.
Just as a precaution, in case anyone got itchy fingers.
Right. So, are we all in agreement then?
I think it's a good idea. I think as long as we get everybody on the same page, that we don't go blabbing about what we saw down there. We have a plan in mind for how we're going to use that information. And if loose lips will not just sink ships, but set them on fire and tear them apart and nuke them down to the subatomic level, yeah.
All right.
It's good that John will probably see reason. I would hate to have to break my oath and, oh no, he had a tragic medical incident and his condition worsened. That would...
There
Oh,
is
don't worry,
a...
Donna. If anything needs to happen, I can take care of it.
I think Richard, eyebrows raised and looks to Donna like, what? Okay. All right, get it, girl.
First do no harm, I think, also applies to oneself.
I would feel
And
terrible
the
about
17
it, but
other people that are on this
yes,
ship that he would be
gotta-
threatening.
indeed. I feel like there was another thought, but I've lost it.
Who is going to talk to Nora? And are you just going to pull her into this room, or is somebody going to one-on-one Nora?
I
Because
think I
in
think that's
order-
all Donna.
Yeah, I think
Because in
Donna
order
is gonna
to
help
pull
volunteer
off
that.
your plan, someone's going to talk to Miss Nora, the journalist, who's
Do
a
you want-
tenacious motherfucker.
Backup.
Maybe not like in the room, but
Mm-hmm.
nearby, because we don't want to
Sure.
seem like we're strong arming her. Because
Oh, right.
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's gonna
That
end
probably
well.
wouldn't help. Yeah.
But yeah. So I think Donna will take that on to talk with her, and see if we can whatchamacallit, how much it takes to get her on board.
Okay. Do you want to pull her? Where would you like to create the atmosphere in which to talk to her? Because that's obviously the next step. Is you got to get Nora on board with this plan, because she is a major linchpin in it.
Yeah, I think maybe we set up a thing of like, okay, now that everyone is like checked over physically, we're going to start having like mental, like psyche vals for everyone. And maybe not Nora first, but have her be pretty close up there and go through that. And once we're in that situation, or that room, it's just like, okay, we're going to talk about this and we're going to see what you are thinking and feeling. And who knows, maybe Nora has thought about this herself already, and we're all going to be fine, or it's going to take some some effort here. But I've got 5 in empathy. I should be pretty good at this.
Okay. All right. So we'll just skip to. I'm not going to make you have therapy sessions with everybody that you're going to do before Nora, because that would be rough to do stream. Robin's still shaken up. Everybody else is just kind of dealing with it in their own ways. But yeah, Robin's still probably pretty catatonic. You're probably going to want to give her a prescription for, something, and then send her off to a room to like chill, maybe just like put her in a bed in the med bay or whatever for a little bit or something. She's the only one that's like really not coping well, but she's not catatonic anymore. She's at least like talking. So as far as your patients go, and Joe's taking care of John, and so you're good on that front.
Yeah.
So Nora's gonna come in and sit down. Just gonna relax in the chair.
Yep. Well, Nora, how have you been? It's been a time, but I mean, you were there with us in the thick of a lot of it, so.
A time is one way to describe the most fucked up 24 hours of my life.
Yes, well, I am trying to, right now I am being Dr. Donna, and I am in my position and trying to make space for you to talk about your experiences.
Well, my experience is I am struggling between my need to blow this wide open and my knowledge that Wayland is going to do everything in their power to silence that, and trying to figure out exactly how any of us make it out of this alive.
I certainly understand that sentiment, and it must be extremely stressful for you.
I feel like there's got to be another word besides stressful. I feel like I'm also like I'm past the point of stressed, and I'm just in like logistics mode, weighing pros and cons and figuring out like, is there a place that we could run to that they couldn't find us, being a, trillion-dollar company? Like, could they find us if we just like lived on the ship forever, just like went off somewhere like off space? Probably. Would they spend the amount of money to try to track us down to make sure that we were dead? I don't know. Probably. It's a lot.
It is. And I want you to know that you are not alone in having these thoughts and concerns. Mm. I do know it is something that the mission command, such as it still is, given that the mission seems to be up in the air right now, is considering as well. And
Yeah, you guys had a closed door meeting without me. Didn't want a
Ye-
journalist there, huh?
well, part of it was figuring out, put pulling information, getting it together, but that is part of what I wanted to talk with you about.
Is
I
there a
think
plan in place?
more or less, yes. But we need you on board with it to make sure that we can keep as many people as possible safe and continuing on. And I will say, I do think there is still an opportunity here for you to give the finger to Wayland, but that's not going to be the first step. Um, and so it is going to require a bit of restraint, but it is, that option will still be there. And then essentially explain, like, write the fluff
plan.
piece, but have the encrypted one on like a dead man switch. And like, I don't know exactly how we would set it up, but the thing of like, if you don't hit, this button every day at noon, like the truth is going to get sent out to everyone. And so as long as she feels like she has that power to, like, at any time, if things start getting funky.
She kind of like leans back in her chair for a minute. And she's like, I've got a contact. It's a little bit of a loose cannon, but it's kind of a big conspiracy theorist. And if I gave him this story and set him up as my kill switch, I trust him enough to know that he wouldn't release it if I didn't, check in with him periodically. He wouldn't just release it because it's juicy, because he wouldn't want to like burn, his own identities and all that kind of stuff. It's a little bit of a paranoid. Your plan sucks, except there isn't a better one. So it's the best plan we've got.
Yep, that is more or less the conclusion we came to as well.
Okay. I can get it done. I'll write their fluff piece.
Something about, a bad storm and overly aggressive wildlife that has been dealt with, but
Yeah.
or
I'll
I
write
guess,
about the struggles of the colony and setting up somewhere, unanticipated, troubles where we had to, I could write something gripping about how we had to like evacuate suddenly in the middle of the night because, there was a terrible storm and it, blew up the power generators and we thought that we weren't going to be able, the colony wasn't going to be salvageable. And, I can write about the struggles of the frontier, and make it seem, gripping and whatever, and then I'll set up I can set up a kill switch situation.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
long
And you throw in the BS about, oh, but because we had the resources from Wayland Yutani, we were able to get back on our feet and, set up again and, suck up to them, but they will also know that we can, pull the rug out from under them whenever we deem necessary.
So should I put in there as I'm writing this, because the second I leave this meeting, I'm not going to go to I know what's going on in that colony meeting already. I'm just going to go start writing. Should I put in there something about how, we like something happening in the Badlands where we had to eliminate some sort of a threat? Like, do you want them to know that much?
I don't think so, because Donna would have gone into this with like
Right. Yeah.
the group's consensus on what we should have Norris say. So is that too much, or
Like, are we putting a little like sentence in there so that Wayland, when they read it, they know that we know that's what she's getting at. Like, is she writing something in there that makes Wayland know that we know that they did a fucked up thing, but we fix it, eradicated the problem, and now you can't come fuck with this planet.
I'm thinking like something about, but frontier folk are like party stock and will not,
Okay.
buckle or
Regardless
I
of
was
the
imagining that-
pressures.
I was imagining that we were probably going to send a message to like whoever this colony's direct supervisor is at Wayland, that was like laying things out like verbatim.
So Nora writes the fluff piece. She'll also, because she's obviously like she's in contact with somebody who's obviously in like their PR department to be
Mhm.
like, hey, here is my piece, but also
I mean, like
this
she
is
could
what
send
happened.
both pieces and be like, "This
Yeah.
is the one I'm going to publish. This is the
This
one
is
that's
the
going
one
to be
that's going to
published."
be if you
If-
do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
my
yeah.
concern is like, wouldn't want to send them the whole like
Yeah.
truth report, because if we do, then they can start figuring out how to cover it up. But just being
Right.
like,
Being like, we have another one that'll detail what actually happened here
hmm
if
Yeah.
you come after us in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So she's down for your plan. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. She's a pragmatic person who wants to cover her own ass, and also she's been investigating Wayland, so she knows just what they're capable of.
yep. All right. And then, I think once that is handled, would turn back to like, okay, but now that is, and you have an actionable plan in place, how are you feeling both like as Dr. Donna and as your friend Donna, and just continue the rest of the psyche eval
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah, she'll like hang out in there and like be honest with you, but also be like asking you how you're doing, because like obviously you guys have like a connection now, and just wants to make sure that like, I know this is my psyche eval, but also are you okay? Like, is somebody gonna do this with you? Like, are you
Well,
good?
Dr. Hemlock has offered, but that I imagine that psyche eval would go very differently than this one is going.
Yeah, they're incredibly intelligent, but I feel like empathy, not their like strong suit.
Right. And there's a time and a place for intellectualizing within a therapy setting, but this is more of one of those times where I think we're all going to want to have a turn in one of the cargo bays, just screaming.
To scream. Yep, to scream. We're also gonna have to figure out like the sleeping quarters situation, because there aren't like, there were rooms for all of you. So we're gonna have to like retrofit some, maybe part of the cargo bay, or, if we don't need the cryo beds, we can pull some of those out and turn that
Yep.
into like a room or like a bunkhouse or something. Just like I'm talking logistics here, because there are a lot of
Yes,
people.
of course. And some of us may have to double up bunks some nights, which given my level of responsibility, I would be happy to open my quarters to yourself or others. But
Oh, I'll always crash with you.
well, that's one bunk solved.
I'll put Frank and some of the others on maybe figuring out a plan. Maybe they can retrofit part of the I don't know, that cargo bay's got only it's one ship in it. I'm sure we've got some scrap laying around they could probably do something with to make people more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, we've got plenty of supplies here. We didn't even get most of it down to the colony, so we can be
Just until we get everything cleared out down there, I'll
exactly.
I'll go tell them that, because it seems like we're going to be sleeping here for a few nights, and maybe we should
Oh,
just try to
yes.
make people more comfortable after, the trauma of the last 24 hours.
Indeed, and certainly going to be advocating for some of the substances and stimulants being added to rations for the next little bit. Well, maybe not so much stimulants, that might make people too antsy, but
Well, I know you've got the good stuff locked up in that med cabinet, so if anybody needs it, I'll send them your way. But I'll just go
Alright.
tell Frank to try to find a way to make people more comfortable. I think he's just itching to do something with his hands. I know Nico looked particularly antsy as well. So giving them a job to do would probably be good for them.
Exactly.
So I'll just go make the executive decision to put them in charge of that, and I'll go write our blackmail / fluff piece, and you go handle whatever things you need to handle. But tell everybody I'm on board. Fuck it. Fuck Wayland. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, no, that is the prevailing sentiment from all of us, and maybe we'll never hear from them again after this. And as long as they keep sending money and supplies, it's we're doing the best we can out here. Frontier's life is difficult, but we will make it work.
I'm about to go write the piece of my life, and nobody's even going to read it except for one crazy guy on some random planet.
I can read it over if you would like. That would help.
Thank you. I might validate what everybody went through. Maybe I'll let everybody here read it.
Might be good, yeah.
I'm going to go lock myself in your bunk. That's where you can find me after I'm done, telling people what to do, which is not really my strong suit.
I've still got at least half a dozen more psych evals to perform before lights out, or whatever we call, shift change. So I will see you later.
She'll come give you a kiss on the cheek before she does that.
Yep.
It doesn't really seem like the time for like lots of PDA, but like just a little comfort PDA,
Yep.
Okay, we can say that you breeze through the rest of the psych evals. Everybody's going fine. And then you can pop back up to tell everybody what they're doing. And Tommy, you have been working on some weapons in the meantime. We will say that with what you have on the ship, you have been able to, what do you think, Raven? Okay, Raven says that you've been able to retrofit one of the parts of the ship that used to be a long range gun of some sort that would have housed like missiles, but you've managed, because this is just what Tommy does. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it because this is your thing.
My jam.
It's your jam. Tommy's been working away while everybody's having meetings and chatting with people. Tommy has managed to make it so that one of these long range missiles is now it will take the shield from the ship in a focused beam for a short period of time. And it will take that and no like nuclear blast, but it will fuck up everything in like a 1 mile radius.
If you were to like walk behind Tommy working on that, by the way, and this is a pretty big fucking deal that he got that to work, you hear like tink, tink, tink. Hell yeah. Tink, tink, tink. Just the quietest little mutter.
He's just in there tinkering away. He found like one thing and then he had an idea. I'm just imagining like Tommy being like, oh, we don't have any missiles. Like, what am I going to do? And he's like, well, I wonder if this will work. He sits down, he like cracks open a panel, he pulls out a few more tools, he starts like rewiring things. He's got like a tablet out. He's just kind of like making some like little like mechanical calculations or whatever. Makes a call down to Nico to be like, hey, so theoretically, if you did this, and this, what would this do? And Nico's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then he's just like, oh, that's what I thought. And then like hangs up and then just goes back to tinkering. And then Nico gets like very curious about like what you're doing because he's like the robotics guy, and then comes up and starts like, oh, okay, wait, this is what you're doing? Okay, you know what I mean? So like now Nico's like in there just like kind of like, okay, well if you want to like increase the power, you can. It's just like, and then Tommy's doing all the work and Nico's like over his shoulder just being like, okay, wait, do this. And then he just kind of like wanders off when he realizes that like, okay, you've got it figured out. You just have to put it together now. And he's just like gonna go like help with other things. So you have a weapon.
So once the weapon's made, Tommy goes back to where he thinks everybody is.
The
Like,
bridge.
Hey, officer, can I show you something real quick?
Of course. How'd you get it working?
Where Tommy knows where it's controlled from?
Yeah, you can pull it up on one of the panels. We'll say on the right side of the bridge, there's like what were the old weapons panels, and they're kind of like dark now. But if anybody was like standing in there, all of a sudden they're lit up again because Tommy did a bunch of connecting things, and all of a sudden it works again. It's so weird.
So that'll be him. And he's like, officer, I think I made a weapon and it's gonna work.
I trust your skill. That's very impressive. Well
So
done.
Tommy's
you-
kind of hunched over the panel while you're talking and like flipping switches and stuff because he's like, I think this is what it is, and I think this will turn it on. And
Nico
then,
did the
like-
calculations for the laser. I don't know. He said like something about a 1 mile radius.
Yeah.
I don't really know. For the blast zone. I don't know what that means.
Like, if I did this right, this puppy is gonna shoot a laser right at them things, and it'll kill about everything in a mile radius.
By the maker, all right. Perfect. Okay. Well, next step is to determine where they all are. Well, we have to talk to everyone first, and then as long as we've got it working, we've got confidence, and we should go talk to the rest of the ship, I think.
I'll let you handle that.
Would you
then
mind
Tommy's
coming
like-
with?
Okay, I'll come with you, but I'd prefer not to do the talking. That's
No,
okay,
of course
officer.
not, but I do want to give credit where credit is due.
All right, thank you, sir.
Of course.
And then he follows.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are gonna talk to everybody.
Yes.
That's the next step.
Yeah.
I would say probably the mess hall is the best
Mm-hmm.
spot for all of that. So I think there'd just be like a shipwide communication where everybody will just kind of meander in there, and everybody's just kind of sitting around or standing around waiting for somebody to tell them what's next.
Is that me?
That's probably you. I think Valia and Tally are just gonna let you take lead on this one.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I think Richard's gonna go up there and lay it out as clearly as he did with everyone else. Come to the same conclusions and just tell everyone about the embargo on information that would have to come from this, and how everyone would have to be on board with it, and how like the real threat that is happening here, as opposed to like it's not just the aliens. Which, do we have a name for them yet? From the information that was given to Ellison.
Xenomorphs. As Allison's been
Yeah.
going through all of this stuff the whole time, they are calling them xenomorphs. Specifically, the ones that you guys have been dealing with are the which one is it that I have this open in? It is the Xenomorph X, that one. I don't remember. Hold on, I gotta find it. It's okay. It's a specific one. That's why you've been getting the scouts and the other things. It is the Xenomorph XX 121. Those are the ones that's what the name of them is on the information. That's what they have them labeled as
Mm-hmm.
on all the information that Ellison has been picking up.
And
so there you have it.
did we learn anything else about the reason that they're experimented on them here, or what their purpose was, what Waylon wanted with them?
Allison, you have found through digging through all of this information, this encrypted stuff, that wait, you have things for technology things, right?
I have Comtech, I think.
Tech.
Is
I
the
don't know if-
main technology thing I have.
You took it and you're just plugging it into a computer. It's encrypted. Make me a Comtech roll.
Sure thing.
Real quick,
Oh, click the button.
just to see how much information you get out of this.
Add, subtract, nothing. Oh,
Got a success?
I did.
All right. So you would know from the information that you got out of here that Wayland is obsessed. The notes from this crazy person that you knew about, that you heard about, that Wayland hired for this, is obsessed with the idea of making these into weapons. Like they want to have, they're looking at this as like the ultimate weapon. That was their goal with this. They wanted to gestate these things and control them and make them into weapons. And you, as a geneticist, are like, really? You think you can control something that, okay, no, don't think so. But good luck. And just you're reading through this and you're like, how could anyone, looking at the information, like looking at like the life cycle of this thing, and you can even go to Murphy, who is the biologist, and be like, could you look at this and tell me why like anybody would think that this was the kind of thing that anybody would ever be able to control? And Murphy would be like, absolutely not. This is an apex predator kind of a situation. There's no way that these things could be trained. Like they were just playing with fire from the very beginning. So you know that was their goal. Their goal was to use them in some way, make money off of them in some way, sell them as soldiers if they could learn to control them, but they weren't doing the work to make that happen. They were more hoping for the best, and just they gave gasoline and a match to a madman on this planet. And then they were like, good luck, and then waited to see what happened. And the hope was that they would be able to control them.
So, do you partake in comics at all?
Sometimes.
You're aware of like Captain America, the super soldier project. It's sort of like if they took several tigers, put them through that program, and it was successful, and they thought they could control them.
They mixed a tiger and a velociraptor and some other alien apex predator
And a
hope
frog.
For the best. Yeah, and hope for the best.
And just hoped for the best and assumed they'd be in control.
Goddamn business suits.
And the other information that you got from that was that there is again, this was like Site B. This was the place where they were kind of like incubating them, and they were going to bring them back to like another place where they were hoping to take like the babies and then bring them somewhere else to like train them and control them and everything else. And the planet that they were doing that in is also in this system, and it's on an unnamed moon of another planet. And the planet was LV-844.
I'll try to pinpoint that on whatever star map we have.
It's not super far away. It would be like the distance. I mean, for space travel for you guys, it would be like Earth to like Mars. You know what I mean? Like it's like kind of like the next planet over, but like a little bit further away, you know? But it's on a moon of that planet that is not hospitable for a life. I think they were trying to hope that like they wouldn't disperse because
And
it is
yet-
not a good. Yeah, I mean, you know, everything
Were
could be
there
fine
any
there.
notes about
Oh, yeah.
some eccentric millionaire trying to start an amusement park based on these aliens?
You don't get to
anywhere?
start making Jurassic Park jokes this far in.
No, there are
I think
no
we've
notes.
covered them.
There are
I
no
think we've
notes.
covered them.
Okay.
Do we know if this was the first batch?
The notes tell you that this was the first batch here. These were the first, I think there were 8 pods there that they had infected. This was their first round of testing.
Okie dokie. Okay.
Allison has gleamed that from their success.
Yeah, so Richard is just gonna, unless Ellison wants to deliver this in some way, other than just facts.
No, I think it's just a pretty as a concise of a rundown as they can give.
Okay. Yeah, Richard will lay it out completely for everybody and stress that this is I think we'll stress that this is our best option. Anything else could result in us getting killed by Waylon, us getting killed by these creatures, bad things, just bad things in general.
Bad. All bad.
Yeah. So I think as far as like, we need everybody to be on board with this plan. Like giving them an option of a yes or no, as opposed to like, well, these are the things that we could do. It's more like, this is our best option. You all need to be on board with it. Please say yes. Please clap.
Let me look at the NPCs.
I can roll if we need to.
Yeah, make me a roll. This is the last session. Make me a roll for it.
Okay. I can do this as a command.
Do it as a command.
This isn't in combat, so my thing doesn't
In
work
empathy?
for that.
Yeah,
Yep,
it would just be an empathy roll.
Empathy
All right.
command.
Okay. Oh, you're lighting up. Thank you for spinning like that. I need to roll it. Thank you.
Click on the word.
Yep. Did it go?
Is there some like confirmation window?
Oh yeah, there it goes. There we go. My thing was open like as another window, so I think that. Oh boy.
Well, you might want to push that.
Here's the fun thing. I can't.
Oh, you can't push the command?
Because I am a
'Cause you're a
synthetic.
synth. Yeah.
Does anyone want to pop in to help in this situation?
Yeah. I mean, again, I've got pretty high empathy. I can give it a shot.
Yeah, you can. I will say that like those of you who are there can probably sense that Richard is like losing the room at this point.
Doling out facts.
Everyone's
not-
feeling.
I'm not the person you want to help.
Everyone's
right
feeling
now.
real stressed over the last 24 hours. Things have been their whole life that they had planned for themselves is like threatening to be out the window. A lot of them are like, okay, this is the best chance that we have to survive here or whatever. But there's some people who are just like very apprehensive because again, they don't really know you. They're like looking to Valia and they're looking for like maybe somebody with a little bit more, somebody step in and say something that might like bolster the squad, and I will let them make an empathy roll if you can.
Yeah. I mean, I think Donna would say like, I am one of the medical professionals here. I am.
They've all had a session with you at this point, so
Yep.
you're a trusting person.
Yep. I am here to look out for everyone's well-being. Based on the information that we have, this is our best course of survival, both, short-term and long-term, hopefully reclaiming the planet and continuing with the colony. And we also always have in our back pocket the big old middle finger, the nuclear option with Wayland. So
Make me an empathy roll, and I'll give you an extra d6
right. Add one.
because you had a nice little session to everybody.
Well, can I push that?
You sure can. There you
There's
go.
a success.
You got it.
And I guess
Look-
I take a stress for pushing it, or what does that do?
It's the last session. You're fine. Yes,
Mhm.
normally you would, but that's fine. It's fine
Yeah.
in this instance. You have convinced everyone. They are on board, although some of them are more apprehensive than others. But it's not because they don't agree that this is probably the best course of action. It's more the fact that they are just reeling from
Mm-hmm.
trying to wrap their heads around what's happened. And not wanting to make any like hasty decisions, but they're gonna just defer to the people in charge and the people that have been dealing with the majority of this, and that's you guys and their commanding officers. So you got them all on board. Now you need to go to the bridge and try to retrofit or have Michael scan to see if you guys can find this colony so you can blow it up
Let's do it.
while Nora is busy writing your kill switch.
That's the
Love-
next half dozen sessions because we just can't find the nest.
Yeah.
The
No.
dice keep failing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that to you guys. We're gonna wrap this up. You're gonna
11
do it.
dices and no successes.
Okay.
Thanks, Badman. All right.
All right. So we're going to the bridge. Those of you who are in charge of the ship and the 5 of you. You're going to search for heat signatures, trying to figure out what this nest is. You scan the planet. There is just north of where you found this installation through, it's going to take a while, but we're not going to make you do this. Michael finds it. All of the heat signatures are there now. There are no heat signatures of people left at the colony.
Tommy
Yes.
just goes, so who gets to push the button?
So they've scanned it. There are no people, no survivors left at this colony because he scanned it. So everything, all the heat signatures are left in this cave system in the mountains north of where you guys found this military installation. Or this, I guess not military, but this lab installation. And so you can train your Tommy's new weapon.
Our Tommy gun.
Our Tommy gun.
And so
Our
Tommy gets to shoot it.
gun!
Yeah.
It's a Tommy gun.
Tommy
We gotta
starts
let Tommy
shooting.
push the button.
So
Yeah,
Tommy,
oh, absolutely.
pop, pop, pop. You can train your new weapon on this cave where all of these heat signatures are and try to just wipe it off the map. If that's what you want to do, you can push that button.
He just pushes it without much thought. Once it's done, I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like, all right. Boom.
Yeah.
No fanfare, no
Just
speech.
looking around,
Just,
just-
Nope.
all right.
And after
It's
that,
like-
we get a weird message about like, did we hear about the daycare center that they had started on the planet? And
No.
No. There's you're in space. You're not going to hear an explosion. You're not going to really see anything. All you see is on the zoomed in portion, looking at this cave system of a heat signature, just a big central mass of it going straight into the middle where Michael has, locked in this thing before Tommy hit the button. And it hits the center and just explodes outwards. And you see all of the heat signatures wipe off the map.
All right. Well done, Tommy.
Yeah, officer.
I think maybe monitor for the next 48 hours, have everyone heal up, have their discussions with Dr. Donna, and we'll see what we can salvage from the camp. Well done,
So you're-
everyone.
Orbiting above Aura, the planet that was supposed to be your new home. You and the rest of the colonists you saved were all crowded onto the bridge after you after you exploded the nest. The air is palpable and thick with the stress and trauma of the last 24 hours. And it's clear no one really knows how to proceed. I mean, you took out the nest. Do you wait a little while to go back down to the colony? Make sure it's okay? You hang it up here for a few weeks. Just make sure you've eradicated them all. Valia looks to Tally, gives her a slight nod, and Valia clears her throat as if to speak. But before she does, Mother's voice rings out over the ship's loudspeaker. Captain, I'm receiving a mayday signal from an unnamed moon of another planet in this system. LV-844. And that's where we're going to end our story.
We all just look at each other and go, they're probably dead, right? Like,
They're
Probably
right?
dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
We
We'll just
lived.
pop over,
You
nuke
lived
the site from
it.
orbit.
yeah.
Everybody lived.
Everybody.
Tommy,
figured it out.
Get ready to
Oh,
press
oh.
the button again.
Press the buttons.
I
So
mean,
you guys
every named
lived
character
through my
lived.
Alien RPG. Every named character lived. I'm so
Yay.
impressed with you guys. I had it slotted for like 7 of these people to die.
Wow.
Got them all, baby.
And one of the PCs would have died if they'd been a human, but the
Mhm.
one that got attacked was Richard, so he didn't.
there was a
I'm
50-50
so
shot
proud of you
that,
guys.
that I sat out this session afterward because we
Yeah.
rolled a die for whether it was going to be Richard or Scrub, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I asked what order you guys were in, and then I rolled, and I chose Richard.
Wow.
The
That-
dice
Well,
have been
Scrub.
the D4s
di-
have been in your favor.
The dice giveth, the dice taketh away.
And
As
they've loved you
always.
guys this session.
Ellie needs
So,
to be a
Let's
therapist.
do
Eileen.
stars and wishes
Oh,
Yeah.
for our
I wanna
last
go first.
session.
Yeah, go.
My star is Alex for being a wonderful therapist. And I would do 30 minutes a week with you for $50, no problem. And my wish, I think I wish that we go that other planet at some point. And maybe everybody gets to meet Mama.
Wow.
What if Mama
My
ends up being the big bad?
Mama's
I
actually
would
the
never
queen
do that to
alien.
Mama.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Mama is
It's
the
like Tucker and Dale
queen.
versus Evil, but Tommy's not half hillbillies, half
He's
alien.
half alien.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for me.
I'd like to introduce you all to Mama introduces the alien queen.
I don't see anything wrong with it. My star is gonna go to Tanya as Tommy, and just the crazy shit that Tommy gets. I love his character so much. He's so like chill about literally everything, and then like, yeah, I'm gonna blow it up. That's cool. Like, that's just it. I love
Yeah,
it.
let's kill them all and like God sort it out. Just
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just Thanos snaps Tommy Bosco.
And my my wish is kind of, I wish for a season 2. I wish that we are scientists on that planet, that we play as scientists on that moon. That'd be so fun.
Ooh,
Like, we're
okay.
totally in it with the company. Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. We have like full on The Thing prequel. That was, yeah. I dig that.
That'd be
I
awesome.
like that a lot.
I've got mine. My star is gonna go to Officer Richard Ram. I love Richard. I think he's great. Richard cannot be talked out of his sort of ideals and way of doing things. It doesn't matter what you say to that man. He doesn't care. He has his beliefs, he has his ideals, and by God, he's gonna run the ship by him. And I just find him infinitely interesting. I love him. I think he's great. My wish is not for season 2 because people already said that. So that one goes without saying. My wish is I want to do a one shot where we're the aliens.
Baby, I'll make it.
Where we're the aliens. And
you want to be aliens? I'll make a fucking alien one shot where you
and-
guys are aliens and you get to fuck up a
and
colony.
we get to strategize on how best to kill everyone in the colony. And I
That's
think it would be really
amazing.
fun.
You should get an award for that idea.
It's
I really
essentially
like
going to be
Thanks.
like, what's The Witch is Dead, except for
Yeah.
it's the instead
Except
of the
you're
witch,
aliens.
it's the alien queen, and we're all just different types of aliens.
Yeah, just different types of little Xenos.
That'd be great.
I think it
I'll,
would be
I'll
fun.
make it. I don't care.
I'll help you write it.
Yeah, I'll make it. Let's do it. I'm gonna do a one shot where we're all aliens.
That's me.
I can go. My star is going to go to Val for Scrub being like the voice of reason and coming up with like thinking of most of the like different possibilities and trying to make sure we account for as much as possible there. And so helped us come up with probably the most comprehensive plan. I have a season 2 wish, but it's different from the others. I want our cozy colony game. Like, let us just do slice of life.
I have a whole.
Stuff.
I have a whole. We can come back for we could do season 2 on that planet, and we can do season 3 with these characters. I have a whole book that's building better worlds from the Alien RPG system that is
Ooh.
entirely colony shit. So
Dang.
we can do it, my dude. I can make that happen.
Nice. Yeah, definitely something I would be interested in because I remember like our first session before any of the alien stuff happened, like we were just having a blast being social and making friends and stuff.
Yeah, we could do a cozy colony like season. That's fine with me. I love that. I want to dig into that stuff. So
Awesome.
That's
I guess
it for me.
it's just me, all right. My star is my star is gonna go to Dr. Donna for it was really for the moment of like I saw it coming, but just like the Nora talking about the bunking and then like you can just bunk with me and we'll save time that way. And it was like, God damn it, Alex, gotta be smooth in every game. Go for it where you can. I respect the hustle. So that's my star, and my wish is God, so many of them have been taken. If we get to do, regardless of what we end up doing, if we end up coming back to these characters, or even if I do a new character, I really want to go down the like conspiracy theorist, anti-corporation, because I got to explore that a little bit with Scrub near the end there. I was like, oh, this is an aspect of this character that I didn't really plan on or think about until right now. It was very funny to go like full red string board and all that at the end. So
I'll just put out there, Ellison will go there with you.
yeah.
Every possibility.
You guys
is a
just requisition a
possibility.
part of the ship to red string board all of the
Yeah.
Wayland shit with Nora.
Statistically,
and
maybe.
Weyland is a parent company, and their subsidiary was the manufacturer for.
Nora brings all of her years of research down to this like little corner.
Do
yeah,
you
that's
still not want me to tell you the odds?
never tell me the odds.
Well, I loved it. Thanks, guys, for letting me run. Stars to everyone for lots of
Hello.
different moments.
Architects of Fate, welcome back. Welcome to the stream.
Hi, Raiders. We're finishing up our mini series of Alien RPG.
We were just
Yeah,
all
go
telling
back.
Rach how good of a fucking job she did.
Yes. If you guys are just joining us, thank you so much for the follows. Thank you for hopping in. We just finished. Everything is on YouTube. This game is very fun. We just, as a little recap, we got to a new planet. Discovered there was a secret base on there. Found that aliens had been experimenting on people. The aliens chest bursted out of somebody. We got back to the camp. Things got fucked. We got everybody out of camp. Nuked it from orbit. A true alien game.
A true alien game, yes.
Yes, but all of it is up on YouTube if you guys want to watch. We've been having a lot of fun with the system, and Rachel, as we've been saying, is a great facilitator for this, a great mother of this game. Thank you so much.
I'm your mother.
Thank you so much for running this for us. The horror,
Thanks
the
for letting me.
gore was amazing. We stream every Sunday on this channel. The next couple weeks are going to be more game content than TTRPG content. But starting in February, we are going to be back for our final season of Playthings of the Gods, which is a 5th edition game. All of the player characters will be level 15. There is a War of the Gods a-brewing, and we're not quite sure what's happening. Well, they're not sure, I know, because I'm running the game. But yeah, sorry, Rachel, please continue. I didn't mean to...
Oh, no, you're fine. We had Raiders.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for letting me run a horror-based game for you. I know there was a real session in there. Things got very spooky, but I got to
Ooh.
write lots of fun horror stuff, so it was great for me. And since apparently we have plans for season 2 and season 3 now, season 2, I'm just gonna plan it. We do another mini series where we go back in time, and I'll make you all scientists on the other planet, Site A. And we'll do a season 3 that is a cozy colony sim, and we'll dive into the building better worlds part of the Alien RPG that just came out like a month or two ago. So we'll hop back into Alien. We'll do a couple other small little mini series for fun here. And yeah, but that's it. That's so fun. I'm so glad we got to do this. I've been dying to do this system for so long. So thanks for letting me run it, LB.
Yes, you're very welcome. You're more than welcome to run anything on this channel you want again. You did an amazing job, especially first time GMing a game. Well done, well done. But yeah, I'm not certain how long the playthings will take. Depends on what you guys decide to do. At least a couple months to get all the goodies in there, and the high level content, the high level fights. I'm super excited about that. But that'll be start of February. Other things coming up on this channel. We will be doing in February on Thursdays, instead of Themeless Thursdays, we'll be doing a Glitter Hearts campaign run by the gentleman who wrote it, Greg Leatherman, is going to be running the game for me and some people that, if you are familiar with GGK, you are familiar with. We got Cujo, we got Wally, we got Serenity, and... oh my gosh, I'm blanking. It's not until next month. I put it out of my mind. Anyways, it's going to be a lot of fun. Greg's going to run us through it, and I'm super excited. The system is powered by the apocalypse, so of course, always fun, always a good time. And yeah, no, me, I'm the last person. I forgot about myself. I'm going to be there. But anyways, does anybody have any final thoughts? Anybody want to say anything else before we take off for the evening?
Game over, man. Game over.
Game over, man.
Ah! All right, until next time, everyone. Hack recklessly. Bye.